Interacting with the basement dwellers. Hosted by your boys Jacob Santoro and Christian Talone.
You're blabbering about unnecessary stuff. Cut it out.
Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button to get all the updates from the channel too.
Tell me what your hand's doing over that button first.
But for now, just loud shout and kick back, cause I got a fresh one right here delivered to your speakers. Lock in.
Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, I was going to go and start the show like I normally do, but God, I would be damned if I did not start with saying this Six Bird cider is one of the most delicious things I've ever concocted. Not concocted, I've ever drank and was concocted.
There you go.
Shout out to Six Bird, a Tempe, Arizona local brewery that is cider, which is something that is kind of new to us. So yeah. Be on our show now. Check it out.
7%.
Episode 90. I know, Christian, you're excited. He's ready. Episode 90. This is actually the mark of season 3. We are on season 3 of The Basement Dwellers. I have this rule that every 30 episodes I do a season. So this is episode 1 of season 3. We are joined today by a longtime friend of mine, Mr. Andrew himself. Military man, not so much a crane eater, but so much in the Navy.
Cock eater.
Yeah. Welcome, dude. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I appreciate your gifts. I do kind of want to go back to this delicious creamsicle Six Bird cider. It's really good. And you introduced me to these. You and I went to go see Gojira and Macedon together. Christian, what'd you think of yours? Which one did you get?
Let's see. I got it's called Who's Your Caddy? It's lemongrass, raspberry, and tea. And it's very yummy.
Yeah, I like it. It's lemongrass. I never thought, it's like some ingredients. You're like, you know what I think? I think
What is lemongrass even?
It's a grass. It's literally just a grass that tastes like lemon.
Oh.
Yeah. You just cut it up. It's kind of like chives. You just put it in whatever. So
Really?
they actually use lemongrass for their cider. Like they use all natural juices,
oh
everything.
my goodness.
That's why they're so good.
7%?
7% each one.
That's rough.
Dangerous.
Are you a cider guy now?
I am. I kind of gave up on it for a while just because, the only cider that's really out there is what Ace
Yeah.
and like other
Or
terrible
like Red's Apple?
Red's Apple Ale, garbage like that. But these guys came around. I just happened to find them, and I'm like, wow, these are really good.
If I may keep it 100 with you, I'm kind of also like over some craft beers. It's hurt my belly now. Like I just have one, like because I remember, with him just slamming like 7, just like
Right.
7 moon juices. You know what I mean? It's like
God.
I have one now and I'm ready for bed. But
Yeah.
these, I like it. You know what, Christian? I think could we be cider dudes for a little bit?
Yeah, dude. We could be cider dudes.
I want to be cider dudes. We've been kind of talking about revamping our personality a little bit. Christian kept sharing me memes about how we both just desperately like need hobbies. What'd you say? You were like, we're very close to just getting just religious. what did you say?
Oh yeah, I said like I have to try all the hobbies before I get into religion.
So
And
I
I
just
just
said,
become a super religious, just buff guy.
yeah, that's what I said. Let's just get jacked and have a dope ass podcast and be religious boys,
There you go. Picking apples for your cider.
Yeah, right. But no, and thank you so much for bringing these. I like these a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're very yummy.
You and I went to a show, Gojira and Macedon, and I want to still again apologize for how embarrassing I was.
I was baked out of my mind.
We were
dude.
fucking, well, not wasted. We were stoned as hell. But
Baked,
before that show, I threw up.
in the trash can outside.
In the trash can outside, and then
Ziggy's.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out
Next to the
Ziggy's.
bus stop.
Shout out Ziggy's. They made me throw up. And
The little homeless lady was like, "It's okay, baby."
yeah, I know. Some homeless lady was just like, "Hey, so better now than later." I was like, yeah, thank you. That lady was Jesus Christ in disguise.
That's how you became homeless, lady.
I will say it's the first metal show that I ever went to where I was like, dude, thank God that we got seats. Like we were adults and got seats because we were like, it was like a movie, dude. Like both of us were just frozen. Like I fell asleep. I fell asleep during Macedon.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh,
I was
man.
like passing in and out, dude. Like
Yeah, you were kind of fading in and out. But you were also a lot more tanked than I was.
I was drinking a lot.
Well, you'd been drinking before we even met up.
I know. I fucking
You were
pregame.
pre-gaming for the pregame.
Man,
Like,
so much has changed in like the last 2 months. Like I don't.
what was that about having one
I
beer and being
drank
sleepy?
so much before I even drove here.
No, he picked me up. He was a solid lad.
Yeah. And dropped them off. Well, my brother did.
Well, you took me to the Thunderbird Lounge and then I drove home. Yeah, because I didn't want you guys to have to drive all the way back. Yeah, it was a rough night. We're going on my birthday. We're going to go see Death Clock and Baby Metal.
Oh, yeah, you mentioned that. Yeah.
And I'm, again, super glad that I got seats because I'm probably going to do it all over again. We're we're dad age now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 32, so.
Yeah. You're still you're older than we are. Yeah. He is a dad, but like we're at dad age now where it's just like I don't know. I feel like Christian could still party. Can you party, Christian?
I don't even know anymore, man. I haven't gotten like super drunk in quite a while.
Doesn't even sound fun anymore.
Yeah. Yeah,
it sounds fun with you. Like it sounds fun with you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But like party thing, I'm over it.
Yeah.
Bar hopping, I'm over it.
I get you. Like more quiet, casual conversation, and
just a sad night with like your boys, just drinking until one of you starts to cry.
Pitching a band called Hypnotoad to each other.
Yes, yeah, we are. Andrew and I are avid fake band members. We like to just send each other cool band names.
Yep.
We can't steal that, but we do have a band idea called Hypnotoad. It's a sick name. It's a super sick name to get, just like cool stoner rock.
Absolutely.
You still do any of your? I mean, do you have any like Navy homies that you still hang out with?
Well, I used to. He's currently in jail right now.
Rad. That's cool.
Yeah, he's serving 5 years. That's fun. But
this bud's for you, man. Holy fuck.
Yeah. R.I.P. Free Bowman. And so no, other than that, no, not really. I mean, we'll still talk to every once in a while, but we're all kind of scattered all over.
You're still active though.
No.
No.
I've been out since 2015, man.
Oh, so your trip to to Israel was not,
That was a work trip.
but not for the service.
No. That's for my job that I work at now.
We could have. Me and Christian would have. Went to the military. I just would have punched my sergeant. If anyone yells at me like that,
The second he got in my face, bro,
Yeah.
I'm flying at him.
Did you ever have that experience where you just like I want to cold cock somebody? What was it like? I mean, I don't think we had Casey on who was in the Navy, but
Yeah.
you never really talked about like basics. So I mean, like,
Yeah.
how was it for you? Because we met. So for some background, you and I met as car salesmen.
Yes.
When we worked at the Ford dealership.
Where about my truck at?
Yeah.
Which is parked out front.
Yeah, I was gonna say he brought the truck today. But before that, so you were out before that, obviously. So
Yeah.
were
I
you
just gotten out.
okay? So you were right out of high school. No, you weren't.
Yeah.
Oh,
right
you
out of
were.
high school.
Okay, so
Graduated high school in May of 2009. Joined in August 25th, 2009.
Okay.
3 months later.
And where was basic at?
Great Lakes, Illinois.
Oh, Illinois.
Yeah, so just about an hour north of Chicago or so, right on the lake.
And
Well,
what
there's two bases. There's the boot camp, like right there, and then there's like across the freeway is another training command over there, and that's where some jobs go to do their training before they get sent out to the fleet or wherever the Navy sends you.
And what was your job?
I was a fire controlman, so I worked on, which sounds like a firefighter.
That's the first thing I thought.
Everyone thinks that. But fun fact, we're all firefighters in the Navy on the ship because who's gonna fight the fire on the ship? The people on the ship. No, so I actually worked on weapon systems. So I worked on the Phalanx Sea Whiz, that R2-D2 looking thing with the 20mm cannon on it.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, so I worked on that. Did that for 6 years. Well, 4 years because I had 2 years of like training or whatever to get to that point. So yeah, so I did 6 years. Because it was like an advanced field or whatever.
I should have lied. See, every time I talk to somebody about this, I should have lied on my thing. I told them I had kidney problems or I had kidney surgery. Couldn't go into the Navy. And now I have a Navy tattoo for no reason. So,
Oof.
yeah. Have you ever seen it?
I haven't actually.
Oh my God.
I've seen like all the rest of your tattoos.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hide this one for a reason. There's a reason why I don't really ever wear. Check this shit. I can't fucking finagle this shit. So I got Ahoy There Sailor on my arm. Pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, my only Navy tattoo is my my job little logo.
So that's cool. I like how you made it nice and small, even though you were actually in the Navy.
Yeah, it was pretty cringe.
Yeah, see, I dedicated my whole arm to something I didn't even do. So I celebrated.
You could say you did. Just don't say you're like a Navy SEAL.
Christian,
You won't really get in trouble.
Christian, if you were my wingman when we go out, will you back me up and say that I was in the Navy?
No.
I never understood like the whole like stolen valor guys. Like they just go so over the top with it. They're like, oh, I was a decorated Navy SEAL with 3 medals of honor and 4 Purple Hearts. I'm like, bro, like they're gonna call you out on that. Like,
Dude, those are
quick.
some of my favorite videos
Oh,
to watch. Are those
best.
stolen
And the
valor
uniform
ones.
regulations are online. Like they're public knowledge. You can look up and you can make yourself look convincing like some low level scrub. But no, they got to go over the top. They got
I think I was gonna be a
they
hero.
look like one of those like North Korean generals, with just like hundreds of ribbons for doing like fuck all, literally fuck all because they weren't even in.
Right.
So
Oh my
yeah,
god!
just
Or it's
really-
or it's like some dude with like the jacket he found at the Salvation Army.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
some jean shorts and some
it's like
Converse.
mixed match uniform like from the Vietnam War and like the Iraq War.
Have you ever
Man,
had to
we got a lot
call?
of
Have you
wars.
have you ever? Oh,
Oh,
Excuse me.
are you muted now?
Hold on.
I want to talk about this for a second while we have the cameras rolling.
Oh,
We
fuck.
totally got off subject from basic from the Navy, but it's cool. We can go back.
I will. We will.
Circle back.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we're horrible at this. This man is such a dad that he keeps his his alarms on. Like I hear him when he's in the shower. I hear bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
Drives me insane. You drive me insane. Like you're like a dad. Like
sorry.
you're in the middle of a nice event and you got your fucking phone blasting.
I didn't do that on purpose.
It's like the old person that has like the dun 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 like phone ring, you know?
I have a coworker that.
For sure. So I'm sorry. We were talking about basic.
No, you're fine. I figured we're gonna get off topic anyway. A lot. Yeah, so it's in Great Lakes. Luckily, I went in not winter, so it wasn't brutal there yet.
Yeah.
I was there for 2 winters at across the street at the other base. But yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be 8 weeks. I think it got extended now, but it's pretty straightforward. I don't know. It's kind of different. Like, it's not like in the movies because they usually show Army or Marine boot camp. Navy boot camp's a little different. It's not like we're out there crawling around under barbed
Fucking-
wire and
what's
shit.
his name,
We're
like
folding
Jack-
clothes,
yeah.
like sweeping floors, folding clothes.
Oh, so it's like Miyagi training.
Kind of,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
You do like weeks of that before you start actually getting into like the cool training. Like you'll do like Marlin Spike, which is like they have like a big fake boat, and you do like the seamanship stuff, like with the rope and like tying, like mooring the ship and everything like that to the fake
aboard.
ship to the fake dock.
All aboard the seamanship, dude.
Yeah, yeah. So you got to learn about all that, and then eventually, like it culminates into like you'll do like a firefighting training in like the gas chamber.
Oh yeah, I always like to ask that story. How was that?
Honestly, it was a lot of fun.
How do you describe? That's
Yeah,
pretty fun.
It was fun. Well, what irritated me was like, it sucks more for if you're like really tall. Because if you're really tall, you're towards the back of the building, and that's where like the gas is like coming from, and so you're just getting blasted with this tear gas while everyone else is going through their thing. And they'll come up to you, like you'll have the gas mask on, and then you'll be breathing like once they'll let the room fill with tear gas, and then like all right, mask's off, and so you take it off, and you're supposed to like cup your mouth and everything like that, so you're not just like oozing some mucus and what have you all over there. And then they'll like ask you like your name or your last 4, your birthday or whatever. And I was fine at first because it just smelled really weird. I can't even describe what it smells like. It almost felt like you're when you go into a pool and you're like you get upset and you get water in your nose.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, like,
that's kind of what it feels like. Pretty uncomfortable.
kind of makes you just want to like squinge your.
Yeah, you're just kind of like you're uncomfortable, but you're not like in pain necessarily.
Have you ever had like smelling salts? Like, okay, so I don't
I'm
know.
not degenerate?
I've heard that too. Like I've heard like smelling salts can also kind of sometimes feel like that. Like
I wanna get addicted to smelling salts. I'm just like whatever that happens because if it makes you think that you're about to die like dead asleep, like I gotta
That's
know.
true.
I gotta know what that feels like. I've never had it like done it, so like I'm like I just want to have them. Just if I need to pick me up, just
Right.
like
But no, I got stuck behind some girl that couldn't breathe, even though she was talking.
Yeah.
Which indicates that you can fucking breathe.
Right.
And she's just like, I can't breathe. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, because I was breathing. They tell you to breathe through your nose and then out your mouth. And so I was like doing that shortly, and then I guess I'm by default a mouth breather, and so I just like inhaled a bunch of tear gas through my mouth, and I just could not stop coughing. And so I'm like choking on this stuff, and I'm just like, I'm not like thinking I'm gonna die or suffocate, but I'm like, I'd like to get out of this, please.
Right. So so do you feel like that whole situation, like you knew you were gonna be fine?
Yeah.
Like, you knew you were gonna be fine.
Yeah, I actually got rolled back 2 weeks because I'm a drug dealer in the Navy. I gave a guy some Neosporin. And
What?
yeah, there's the one time we have actually like they think like in boot camp you get like your strip searched all the time. You're really not. They did the one time they did a bunk. So we're like in the middle of our training or whatever, and then obviously like you're running around a lot, and then like they start punishing you with push-ups and what have you, and you start to like get blisters, because you get people that are from varying physical capability backgrounds. You know what I mean? People that worked out, people that didn't, and then everyone else in the middle. So getting blisters, and so I was getting blisters, so I went out to medical and got a little Neosporin to kind of help heal those up, and then we weren't supposed to share medication at all. At all. Like that was like rule number 1.
Are they like worried about like allergies to the medication? Or?
I felt like it was more just cough medicine, like things that you could try to like, I guess, abuse.
Kind of like prison shit. Just
Yeah,
like
kind of like prison shit, because a lot of people that have done time or people that are just down on their luck, or how we had one guy on my ship that was literally homeless before he joined the Navy.
Oh wow.
dang.
Yeah, it's weird. You meet some very interesting people
I'm sure.
from all walks of life, and you're just like, how did this person get here?
Is there like, I mean, I know you can't be pushing like 4 bills and like they won't let you into the Navy. But is there like what is like the weight max to join? And then is there still like a time for a mile? Like, is that a real thing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how the standards are now. I'm sure they've changed. But when I was in, I mean, at 18, like I had to run a 1.5 mile in less than like 13 and a half minutes. That was like, and then they go based, yeah. With the Navy, it's gonna be all probably pretty similar. Yeah, start your journey. I'm good.
Let's see.
But yeah, so I mean, you got to do max push-ups and sit-ups, that kind of thing. And then weight, it's based on your height, BMI. Pseudoscience, where if you're really, really tall, you can be heavy. But I think my max weight I'm like 5'11". So my max weight was like 196. Like absolute max. Anything way higher than 196, I'm like a lard ass, and I'm really not. I mean, I am now because I'm like 220. But
Holy shit! To be an applicant for the Navy, you must be between 57 and 80 inches tall. So Christian's out. And the weight standards are about your height and gender. For example, if you are 60 inches tall and male, you must be 141 pounds maximum.
minimum. That's got to be minimum. That's got to be minimum. That's got to be a typo.
That's insane.
It can't be maximum. That's a shrimp. That's someone who's what? No, that's what 60.
If you're 70 inches and a female, you can't weigh any more than 177. So how much is 6? That's 5 feet tall.
That's 5 feet tall. So you have to be at least 5 feet tall, and you can't.
Well, that's 141 for a 5-foot person.
Yeah, that's pretty small. That's pretty big for a 5-footer.
Yeah, look at this fucking guy.
I'm 5'5". Okay.
That means he's 4'6". Like, you know what I mean?
Wow.
That's So you're saying, I mean, I did see that we have to be 28. That's the max. You can't be any older than 28. So that sucks. So we're out.
It
So
used
we can't
to be
join anymore.
35. So unless they really chopped that down.
I don't know. I think they're going to bring it up to like 45 in a little bit. We're going into fucking World War III, baby. I mean,
That's true. They're going to start. They're going to look for anybody.
I don't know.
Could you imagine someone that's 45?
That'd be sweet. Like Old Man River, just out there with a fucking...
Just 45-year-old like
Stuck with an
rookie.
18-year-old that wanted to be there, and you're like the draftee.
I don't know, Christian. Are we doing the masculine urge to die for a cause bigger than us, or are we going to go run away in the forest?
I always have the masculine urge to die for a cause, dude.
Yeah, we're 40K players, dude.
That's true.
I want to die in battle.
But a cause greater than your own by the federal government? Nah,
That's true.
That's true. Yeah.
You and I are definitely some spicy Instagram messengers, and we have been talking some real heresy of the U.S. government for some time.
Right-wing extremist.
And you're one of my absolute favorite peoples because you're like, oh yeah, I did my time, but also fuck the U.S. government, bro. Like,
pretty much.
they can't take my guns from me, bro. Like, you're one of my favorite schizo posters of all time.
Sweet.
I definitely enjoy that. For those of you who don't know, somehow, because this is going to be out in a week and this is 2 weeks old now, a bunch of billionaires died in a sardine can earlier this week.
You want to know how they died?
The
science behind it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So again, if you've lived under a rock for the last 2 weeks, was it $250,000 gets you a ticket?
An 8-week trip to the
8
Titanic.
weeks? I didn't know
sorry,
that.
8 days.
Okay, I was like, holy fuck.
It's like 8 days because you have to fly out to like Newfoundland or wherever the port is.
Yeah.
You get the boat ride over there, and then
we're not going to look up anything now. We're going to prepare for it. But yeah, dude, I was. This whole situation really tests your humanity, and like because I think it was you were just sending me memes after fucking memes.
I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
no,
the
it's
whole
funny. I
fucking
mean, it's
time.
unfortunate for like the families. Like it sucks. Like no one wants to. Like I don't want anyone to necessarily die. You know, I don't think they like deserve to die or whatever. But like, I also don't feel bad about it either because like, they knew the risk involved. They signed the waiver. They paid the money.
Right.
You knew this company was kind of sketch. That's a terrible design for a submarine.
Yeah, it's fucking unreal.
And they were worried, like, oh, what if it, like, you know, instead of obviously it imploded, which was the best case scenario for like that to go out like it did. They're out there like floating out there, like potentially suffocating out in the middle of the ocean. I'm like, why didn't you paint the thing bright orange so you can see it?
So let's go ahead. I want to play this one. I don't know if you want to put the headphones on. I want to check this out. Oh, I don't know why I've got fucking.
An ad.
I thought you had YouTube Red, Jacob.
I thought I did too.
God.
No, it's RedTube.
Oh, I guess not. It's also not being. Oh, because we're on AirPlay.
We are inside the submersible.
Got to do it this way.
Which is a carbon fiber and titanium sub that can go to the depths of the Titanic.
Well, not anymore.
Hi, my name is Stockton Rush. I'm the CEO and founder of OceanGate. Let's
Rip.
take a look at Titan.
It is very daunting to listen to this now.
This is the only toilet
That is
available on
the
East
best
Avenue
shit in the world.
Best seat in the house, baby.
You can look out the viewport. We put a privacy screen in.
Oh, I'd make sure I'd eat like
And, it's,
nothing but like the worst foods before that.
Look at this is where is it 8 people?
5.
5 people died in this fucking can.
You think
And-
one of them died on the toilet?
I don't know. I don't know.
Would it smell? Like that would be like where does it go?
Yeah.
Where does it? Maybe it just gets like pooped out of a little like hole.
I don't think
in
so.
it.
I
Just
mean,
a-
it busted, right? So it can't be that well designed.
Right. I don't know. I mean, but like I don't know.
I love that the TV stand is like screwed into the wall.
Yeah.
That's probably secure. Look,
That is unreal.
honestly, if that's all it takes to move the thing, like who cares, you know?
I think it's because he was so excited to be like, it's just a controller.
I think he probably got that just in case there was like kids or young people, just to be like, look, you can drive it.
Right.
You know.
Look, both of those screens are screwed into the wall.
Very structurally sound.
There's no fan?
And it's meant for a 16-year-old to throw it around and super durable. We keep a couple of spares.
I think that's literally the only piece of debris that survived, besides like the hatches.
picture of it.
We went out in 5 8-day missions.
I heard they put one of those on backwards at one point, and so they were just like spinning around.
Oh my god.
An extra dive on an undiscovered reef that we found. Completely privately funded operation. We're funded by, we call mission specialists who help support the mission. So they take quite a bit of money to come and join us. Years ago,
Yeah, not anymore.
These are the clips right here, or these are the screenshots that stress me out. Like this right here. There's
That's
5
one guy. There's 5
one
people.
dude in there.
Yeah.
So that's the part that I start to feel like, again, as like teen people, I'm like, what a fucking horrible, horrible, horrible death. Like,
I mean, it was instant, but yeah.
yeah.
It's,
So that's what, yeah. So you were talking about. So we saw. I'm assuming you're just gonna say the same thing, is that this was an implosion.
Yeah,
From
it-
pressure.
No, yeah. Let him explain. I'm sure he knows about the sciences and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
behind
I've
it.
this
never been
guy-
on a submarine, but I'll try my best. I'm not a scienceologist. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So little backstory. The human body takes about, I think it's like 100 milliseconds to measure like pain or whatever to like register pain, which to us seems instant because we don't really think of time in milliseconds. Furthermore, the human eye picks up movement or like kind of like seeing movement at it's about 13 milliseconds to like register
Like
all
what's
of that.
happening.
Yeah, what's happening. So it takes time. And, you know, it's like almost instant, but it takes time. This implosion took place in less than a millisecond. Millisecond.
Fuck.
So you're talking 100 times less, or yeah, 1%, whatever the time it takes for you to register pain, and like 1/10 of the time it takes for you to see what's happening.
Yeah, that really makes me feel
So
better.
they didn't even realize it happened.
No,
It
you're,
just-
you're probably talking like you and I are right now, and then black, like the end of
Wow.
the Sopranos, like done.
So they were just squished.
So, the pressure down there, I think they busted around like, I think it was like 6,000 feet or something like that.
I busted at about 6,000 feet.
Usually I'm in the air, but the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So you're talking, I think for every 33 feet of water you go down, it's like an atmosphere of pressure. So they're they're probably around like 200 to 400 atmospheres of pressure. I don't know exactly. I don't know at what point they actually busted. I think it was like 2 hours into the dive, and I think it takes 3 hours to get down there because the Titanic's like 12,500 feet.
It only takes 3 hours to get there.
You can't just like drop all the way to the bottom. You have to like, it takes time to like
Yeah.
lose buoyancy. And they would have just busted sooner, I guess. So they're down there. You're talking about, you know, hundreds of times the pressure that you feel right now because we're at 1 atmosphere approximately. So all of that is rushing in. So they're thinking because the hatches, I think, survived. So it's like the tube that actually just crunched. So that, like, they probably heard some creaking and stuff like that before it, like, imploded.
Yeah.
And so that all that pressure is compressing. And when that compression happens, generates a lot of heat, like almost the temperature of the sun. Like
Isn't that kind of like the mantis shrimp thing where like it punches so
yeah,
fast?
kind of like that. Yeah, because of the pressure. It's just physics is scary.
Yeah.
And so it compresses that air bubble that they were in because they were in an air bubble essentially, and it superheats it. So they probably got like incinerated like instantly.
They were just a fucking sous vide.
They were essentially they were just like flash fried and then like boiled and like melted into a gel and then extruded as the bubble collapsed.
So there's just like billionaire jelly.
Yeah, it's just like little bits of they're pretty much just vaporized instantly. Like not even like mist.
Weirdly, that makes me feel just a little bit better because like I was imagining like they're just still in there and it fucking
I'm
stinks.
glad.
They like suffocated to death.
I'm glad they were turned into fish paste before.
Not even paste, dude. Like electrons or something. I don't even know. Like you're talking. That's a lot of pressure in a very
plasma.
short amount of time. It's why it's called a catastrophic implosion.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was so happy when because I feel like I was like the first.
I was so happy.
I feel like I was the first one to learn that, like, out of all my friends and people I knew, I was the first one to learn that it had like they had died on Sunday. Like,
Yeah.
And I told everybody. It was just like,
And the Navy knew about it. Apparently, when it happened, they just sat on it.
Yeah.
yeah, because everybody's saying that because of Hunter Biden's trial. Like, they were
I mean, maybe. I think they also because all that stuff is kind of like classified, and so it takes time to like declassify.
That's what
it.
I assumed.
And they also need to like hard evidence to prove like they heard a noise. They're like, oh shit, something's out there.
So that's one thing I wanted to ask you too. Is like, so I wanted to bring up the noise, but I was going to say also, it's like, do you think it took a couple days? Because the red pilled in me wants to be like, oh, they're distracting us, but I feel like they also just don't want to be wrong. Like, could that be like a thing? Like,
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're dead, but we're gonna wait a couple days.
We need hard evidence. We need proof. We need proof that. I mean, as soon as they brought a submersible down there to the Titanic, and like, I think the wreckage was like 1,600 feet away from the bottom, right there. As soon as they found, they're like, oh yeah, they imploded. And then he was
fucking
like,
eyeball,
oh, okay,
just-
so that thing that we heard, okay, that was that must have been it. You know what I mean?
I liked the orca theory,
Or a Kraken. Davy Jones.
like an SCP monster, just like something that's so big.
Cthulhu.
It is pretty crazy because I've heard that more people have been to space than people have been that far in the ocean.
Yeah.
That's so crazy to me that like, I mean, I never really think about like.
I think it's actually really cool that the companies are starting to, like, that's becoming a tourism thing. I mean, obviously do it safely. And Ocean Gate's like no more, but
I just feel like the submersible was it like too small. I feel like does it need to be small because of that much pressure?
it's because it needs to be small. It needs to be capable of like withstanding that much pressure, which means you need to like, truthfully, you need to over engineer the shit out of it. And obviously that adds weight, which adds more things, which means you can't have as many people in it, you know?
Yeah.
So
I would like to hope that one day we can do it. Like, do I want to go see the ruins? Sure, that's cool. But
yeah,
like,
I mean, I'd rather see like maybe that's something that's so far deep, you know, like maybe like the Yamata, which is only like 1,100 feet below the water.
what's the average cruising like area of like a submarine?
Like a couple 100 feet.
What?
Yeah. No, subs don't go that deep.
What?
Yeah. Like nuclear subs, like they don't go that deep.
Dude, the movie Atlantis had me thinking that shit was thousands of feet under. Are you saying
No.
a Disney movie lied to me?
Atlantis: The Lost Empire.
Yeah.
One of like my favorite Disney movies.
It's such a good movie.
Because it wasn't a musical. And it was just really cool.
Such a good movie.
It was like diesel punky, you know, kind of.
Oh
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Everyone in that movie was so cool. And I remember like since Facebook has been a thing, people have just been sharing that picture of like Danny DeVito as the mole guy and like fucking just like a whole like live action. Yeah. I didn't like that part though, because I'm terrified of the ocean. It's like one of my biggest bugaboos of all time.
That's why I didn't want to go on a sub when I joined the Navy.
Oh,
They
really?
wanted, you get paid more to be on subs. They wanted me on a sub because I had scored high on the ASVAB, but I'm like, I'm good. Like, it's one thing if my ship sinks. May not be able to swim to shore, but maybe I'll be able to, if I'm lucky, float for a couple of days. They'll find me. Cool. You go down to like 800 feet of water, like less than a millisecond, right? Like game over.
Is that possible at 800 feet of water?
I mean, not for our subs, I don't think.
Right, well, they're
I think
fucking gigantic.
Yeah, they're massive. I mean, they do happen. It does happen. Like we've lost submarines. Like
That's
the USS Thresher busted. They imploded. Yeah.
That sucks.
It's instant. Well, theirs was kind of shitty because they like lost power, and so they were like slowly sinking down until they hit crush depth, and then they popped.
Oh, so they were just waiting for the inevitable?
Yeah,
That's
and
fucking
And they're
terrifying.
flooding. They're experiencing flooding too. So like you're experiencing flooding, power outage, and you're just like drifting further into the crush depth. And then like I think there was like even transmissions on the sound powered phones like, hey, like help us, you know, and then
Oh, my God.
just allowed, you know, crush.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean...
Support the show. Patreon.com/BasementDwellerProductions. Thank you all so much for the support. And now more of the Basement Dwellers.
Oh,
I'd like to apologize. I slipped a finger and I haven't been recording video this whole time.
He used to work for Ocean Gate before he came here. So
Yeah, I was one of the guys. I'm the one that bought the window.
Well, I'm sorry to Six Bird because I had a whole beautiful thing.
Well,
like
you could do it. You could
you still
share.
do it. Yeah, I mean, we got the Marionberry pie a la mode.
That's okay. That's all right. We have our
Delicious.
mishaps. This is a beautiful season opener, Christian. Good job. I'm really. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Wow.
All right, go ahead, lead it. I'm just kidding.
No,
Sorry, I
Jacob's
don't know
gonna
how to do my
hit me
job
later.
either.
I'm just kidding.
Jacob's gonna beat me later.
We have our moments. We all make oopsies.
It's all good.
We all make mistakes. We're still having a great time. We're still going. I mean, we're doing good.
No, my time's ruined. I quit.
You quit? You want to reset all over? You want to pretend like you want to just?
No.
So that's
Sorry,
like-
man. Let's cut back to one. Let's go. All right, we're here.
We're gonna redo his entire conversation
Yeah,
that we just had.
that's okay. We had it recorded, so that's
I
fine.
was
Yeah,
checking
that's
like
fine.
for like how far away we were from a break, and then like I was like, wait, where's the timer? And then I was like, oh shit, it's not recording. I totally pushed the button. You watched me push it.
I don't know.
Sorry.
POV
guys.
Ocean Gate submersible.
That's okay. Well, let's get a shot of Andrew. This is what he looks like. Welcome everybody back again for now. The it's okay. I'll put in a whoopsie daisy. We'll not let that ruin the momentum. But anyways,
And that's Benji.
and that's Benji. But but anyways, so they were only there for a day and then they died.
Not even hour 45 minutes
Oh.
in the submersible.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
like I was so misinformed. I thought there was like conversations of who we're gonna eat first, and like, yeah. So maybe I don't even think anyone was able to needed to use that bathroom yet. In all honesty,
Probably not.
I don't know. But would you do it? Like if it was like
Fuck no.
a safe, like it's better
Oh, a
built.
safe one?
Yeah, better built.
Only if I got like all my affairs in order. You know what I mean? And
Like just in case.
yeah, just in case.
Would you feel the same way? Like if you had the opportunity to go like rocket
And if
travel?
James Cameron was on it, because like I feel like he
knows what's up.
knows what's up, right? He's been there like 33 times at the bottom of the Titanic.
What?
Yeah, he's been there a shit ton. He's like a structural engineer and a director. The dude's like a Renaissance man. He's like legit, like really smart guy. You see the episode of South Park on him?
The James Cameron.
Yeah.
I know, I remember the song. It's James Cameron.
It actually plays when he's in a submersible.
Everyone up top has to hear it. We just watched the.
Yeah, if he was on it, then okay, cool. It's just weird that they took like one of the guys. I guess it's one of his friends, Paul Henri Nargougelet or some French name.
Mm-hmm.
He was like some like oceanographer, shipwreck guy, whatever, French Navy dude, and he went down with them, and then fish paste.
Fish paste.
That feels almost eerie and like so eerie that it's just like I don't even get a chance. Is
I'm
it?
just
What
glad the CEO went down with him
do you mean?
because he was the one that was all adamant about the safety thing, like oh it's not a big deal and all this like just kind of shitty way of like thinking.
Well,
That's so crazy to think that you could just be like, no, it's fine. Because
Right.
I saw a thing. I don't know if it's true, but I saw a thing that there was like there was an engineer who worked on the sub, and who I guess like he told them like this window is not certified for this depth or whatever,
Right.
and he was like, no, we've done it a bunch of times, it's fine. Yeah, and he was like, yeah, maybe you've done it a bunch of times, but it's a very finite amount of times you'll be able to do it. you know?
Right. I mean, same with the planes. I mean, that pressure, like pressurization, depressurization, takes its time. Takes its toll on the materials involved.
Right, because it was like what, like 5-inch thick steel or something like that.
Titanium and carbon fiber, which isn't really common for most submersibles. Usually they're made out of like titanium, like serious.
Yeah, because
metal.
titanium's like really, it's like
it's not super stiff. It's lightweight.
it's
and
like it'll break before it bends, right?
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, I'm not a metallurgist, but yeah, it's got properties that are clearly like good at withstanding crazy amounts of pressure like that. That's why like spaceships and shit are made out of.
that was the video that I was trying to look for because I loved watching that video of how cocky that guy was. Of just like, yeah, I got this shit from fucking Ace Hardware, dude. Like this.
Anybody can do this.
Yeah, like look how sick this. I got this from this little fucking.
He's almost sound like one of those like snake oil salesmen from like the Wild West. You know what I mean? He's just like trying to get like everybody in, just to rake them in with a bunch of dough, and then be like, boom.
Have you seen the Amazon reviews for that controller?
I have not. I'm kind of like I would imagine they're pretty great.
So
The internet has been a blessing and a curse,
which
for
is
our
actually something
humankind.
that I told him.
R.I.P. Ted Kaczynski.
I love I loved that like the internet all kind of came together, and this was kind of like our collective idea of just like, yeah, who gives a shit about rich people? Like just like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like the amount of resources.
I mean, just who gives a shit about people who you don't know in general? You know?
Right, and yeah, I mean, it definitely also is just like this was a dumb idea from the start. I mean, it was
Yeah, it seemed pretty sketch.
But if you if you look at like, so apparently you could buy like this controller.
Trolls leave review.
Oh yeah. There we go. So
Submarine remote control submarine.
yeah. So it's like so you could actually buy the Logitech controller on Amazon.
Do you think the price went up because so many people started buying
I
them?
think the price actually went down because it's the controller that supposedly killed a bunch of people.
So yeah, you see like like works great in a submarine, best submarine controller ever, not waterproof. Like
I thought they found it at the bottom of the water.
yeah,
the ocean.
people are just
That's
like
the only thing that didn't get crushed into dust.
yeah. So
So that is waterproof.
which again, like
That's fake. That's a fake
you-
advertising.
it's the first time in my life where it's just like, we have this podcast and we're fucking silly and it's just like everything is out of good taste. But also, I'm also just like, you're a fucking, you spent $250,000 for your own fucking grave. Like,
I think they got a discount. Like one of them guys.
oh,
got
thank God. That's
yeah,
cool.
only 150K. Normally it would be 250 to us plebs,
Right.
but yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Only more than a year's
Also,
salary for me.
Shout out to the stepson who was busy jamming at Blink 182.
And wanting a OnlyFans like girl to like sit on him.
Yeah. Were you aware of this, Christian? You hear about this?
I heard about the guy that went to Blink-182. I did not hear about the OnlyFans.
But
Yeah,
also at the
so-
same time, like let the man like I don't know, let him do what he wants. Who gives
Yeah.
a
Who
shit?
fucking cares? I also believe that
Like-
it's just like, I don't, that's his stepdad,
He might have hated him.
Lord knows I have bad history with
Also,
his stepdad.
Blink-182, man, those tickets sell out like motherfuckers.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
you can't, you
It probably
can't
cost more than
not,
that submarine.
yeah, you can't not go, for sure though. He told everybody that was there. Like, he's just like, oh, my dad's down there. Or my stepdad.
So he's like
I think so.
baked out of his mind.
I think so. I think that he was like, like I'm grieving. This is my way. This is my way of grieving. This is my way of
As he drops like 100K on drinks at that
oh,
concert.
yeah. And then the Cardi B steps in and talks shit to him. And then I know it's all so stupid.
Which
but-
if that was him, I'd be like, wow, Cardi B knows I exist now.
yeah, right. But then he decides to just start
Hey,
fighting with Cardi
No
B.
nibbling on the cable.
Hey, you fuck.
Excuse me, sir.
Benji, you can. There you go. Oh my God.
God,
There's so many things going wrong with this episode.
you little terrorist.
I know. But no, they go back and forth. They go back and forth on like Twitter. I'm just like, who fucking like the world is so fucking crazy, dude. Like, who fucking cares, man?
Let the kid grieve how he wants, or not grieve, Who
Or
cares?
not grieve. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, honestly, his stepdad had already been dead, right?
Right.
For a couple days into fish paste, and so it's like, what are you gonna do?
Right.
We just sit at home, and be sad all the time,
that's the thing though, is that people on the internet are
or
like,
go
yeah,
see one of the most like overrated pop punk bands of our generation,
I agree. Can we talk about that for a second?
Blink 182.
I'm so over it.
I'm actually mad that my stepdad didn't take me on the submarine, so I'm celebrating that.
I'm so over that band. Like, I cannot believe that
I've
band
never
is.
been a fan of I don't hate them or anything. I just don't. Not a big fan of the music.
No, I think hate's a very strong word for musicians for sure. Like, you hate the band, but I also think that it's just like, I don't know. It's the same thing how I felt
It's
about
for like Disney adults.
yeah.
It's like adult children kind of music
Yeah.
to me.
Right.
But
That's how I feel about. Are we doing this now? Because this is how I feel about emo night in Phoenix. Honestly, dude, fuck emo night. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of. Have you ever been to an emo night, Christian?
my
I
brother goes
refuse.
to those every once in a while.
So fucking stupid. It's literally just like some dude hitting play on a fucking laptop. Yeah, and it's like 80 people in a room just doing
They
karaoke.
don't even play
together.
good emo music. They play like The Killers and like All American.
Or,
Radio.
or
Is
they
that
just
even
do like
emo?
My
Like-
Chemical Romance. They do like the top 5 songs. You know, It's
Killers
like-
are like Christian rock at this point.
I thought they were. I thought they were like Mormons or something.
They're Mormons, yeah.
I go back and forth with The Killers.
I like
I
them.
do
They're
like them a
actually
lot.
good.
Yeah.
I like them, but no, like emo night's so fucking stupid. I don't care who fucking hears that. Honestly, like I'm gonna make a TikTok of this specific part right here and just say like, if I was president, I would ban emo night. I think it's the dumbest thing. It's not even karaoke. Like, it's just like a bunch of people just singing music together in a fucking bar. Like, overtly and
Just a bunch of adults dressed like children.
yeah.
Right.
You know what? You know what? If you're like 25 to like 35 and you're still like emo or die, I'm just like, bro, go
Yeah, I mean, do what you want.
Quit-
I'm still
quit-
gonna judge you like all the way down.
quit
to the
working
bottom
at
of the ocean.
quit fucking working at Walmart and get your license. Go touch some grass and just fucking listen to it like a normal person.
Right.
Like, you're still out here with your fucking snake bites. I mean, I got plugs. I get it. You know, I got the fucking hand tattoos. I get it. But I see 30-year-olds with Chunk No Captain Chunk t-shirts. That's the lamest shit I ever heard.
That's a big red flag.
That
to
movie
me
came
is-
out like 40 years ago.
That's not it says banned.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
talking
that
about
was a
the
Goonies
Goonies.
reference. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
The-
but
I mean, it is a
Yeah.
Goonies reference.
Yeah.
I just thought that's what you were
yeah, no, it's
gooning
a
about.
band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, what were you gonna say,
It's
Christian?
one of those bands like I wrestled a bear once with just one of those like.
Oh, with the multiple names that describe like an action.
Yeah, just
so
like a
huge red
nonsense
flag.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge nonsensical name.
But no, yeah, adults with snake bites, dude. That's
Yeah,
It's my
terrifying.
favorite band. Adults with Snake Bites.
that's a cool band name.
That's a terrible band name. That'd be like a troll emo band name.
Yeah. I don't know. People are always like, man, don't you?
It's like they've become like the new generation of like punk rockers. You know, like when you see a dude with like dressed like a punk rocker with like the mohawk and the colored mohawk and everything like that, you're just like, I see like a grown man, like the age, like Doyle's age, seeing like that, you're just kind of like, oh, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? I feel like that's now the new.
No, yeah, emo's definitely dead, like for sure, or it's gotta die soon.
Yeah.
just change to Midwest emo. That's like just
Midwest emo is cool.
Yeah.
Midwest emo just looks like all of us.
I think just like other things, like the people who still listen to nothing but fucking Seosin and like Parkway Drive and all those sad fucking bands. Like it's like the same thing where it's just like I hate everything of my developmental youth after 15. And like
Right.
I refuse.
It's a bunch of 40-year-old dudes singing about how hard it is to be a teenager.
Right. It's like singing Welcome to My Life by Simple Plan, but you're 35. I'm just saying, man. Like I've been holding this in for far too long, Christian, and I can't handle it. All right.
I feel it, dude.
The man almost imploded over this, just so we know.
Yeah, I did. I call me the guys on the submarine because I almost imploded over this. Just saying,
That
like,
Logitech is sound.
like people who are just like, gotta bring back Warped Tour, man. I'm just like, no, you don't.
I'm good.
You don't need
They're
to.
just gonna
I would be happy if Warped Tour came
Would
back.
you?
Yeah, but not like in like its twilight years. Like I went to Warped Tour in 2011, and that shit was dope. Like
Yeah, because you were a fucking teenager.
yeah, I was, but I would go again, like just to see all like the bands I liked and stuff. I would go as an adult. I wouldn't go as like, you know, like I did back then, where I only went with swim trunks and a fucking
A
jug of
backpack.
water.
lace backpack. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would go and I would enjoy the bands that I saw because like who do we all see? Like fucking
I wasn't there. We've already had this
oh
conversation.
fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I saw a bunch of my favorite bands there, and I was
I
like,
only-
that was a cool experience.
I only pretended to like those bands because I was also incredibly attracted to emo girls in high school.
Still are.
No,
That's good.
Bullshit.
That'd be another red flag.
that's like my thing.
He's full of shit.
Like teased hair and all that shit. Like it's still in your 30s. Like I'm so fucking good.
Yeah. I
So
got you.
good. Some of these pictures, you know, like where they do this, you know?
RAR.
Yeah,
RAR
RAR XD.
XD.
Like again, like in high school, that was dope as shit. Like I'm all for that. I'd fucking
Yeah, because we're all a bunch of
when I was
fucking retarded kids.
When I was
yeah.
16, my dick almost fell off from how much I fucking jerked off to those girls. I think my thing now is that it's just like, of course, like I have my music tastes and stuff like that, but like I just feel like it's one of those things where it's like, dude, like go. Give me something else other than this is, and not even just emo music. That's how I feel about any kind of like real audiophile, like hardcore kids, like where your whole life is just like I'm gonna go see Tsunami on Monday, Turnstile on Tuesday, Knock Loose on Wednesday, and then from Thursday to Sunday, I just sit in my room and I gatekeep on Twitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
The gatekeeping is fucking stupid.
it's the dumbest.
That is the most annoying
Yeah.
thing.
Like music heads, like I love, of course, like who doesn't love music? You're a psychopath if you can't, you know. But like my whole thing, let's just, you know what? Let's just turn the last hour of this. You know what
I'm
I
like,
hate?
we went way off course here.
Yeah, I know.
you're fine.
It just got me fucking got me heated,
I'm
man.
just letting you. It's your podcast, not
Christian fucked up, didn't record the thing.
Sorry.
mine. It's all good.
I hate leg tattoos. That's what I feel like. I hate checkered leg tattoos. That's what I fucking hate. I don't hate that, but
I fucked this one up, man.
He did that
I'm
himself.
I'm really bummed. Yeah, I did it myself, and like the fucking heart is just a scab now because red doesn't show very good on my skin, and so I went really ham on like packing the color in, and I think I went too ham, and now it just fucking it's just
Looks like
falling
a
off now.
burn.
Yeah, dude, it's
Birthmark?
just a really thick ass scab.
did you have any emo dudes in your basic?
I mean, I was an 18-year-old that thought he knew everything about the world and then got completely kicked in the face when he realized that I do not.
Was it hard for you, or did you kind of go
I
coast
mean,
by?
I don't know. I was just like very emotionally immature. I was 18 years old. I was a shithead. You know, who wasn't? So a little emotional.
Yeah.
But ultimately, like, I don't know, I got through like emo phases where I was just like, oh, sad, you know, whatever. But
Were you a long-haired guy?
no. I was like, I wore like, to high school, I was just like, I had like spiky hair and like studded belt
Fuck yeah, dude.
and like SRH or like fallen shoes, SRH shirts.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean,
And then I wore some band shirts, of course. Slipknot, you know.
Hell yeah.
I mean, were you into like any of like the ever like Fallen in Reverse or
No, I never liked any of those.
Attack?
The only metalcore band I like is Killswitch Engage.
Hell yeah.
And they're actually like very talented.
They're good, yeah.
They're not too cliche, I guess you would say. Yeah.
He's a black dude.
They've aged well. He had a black dude.
I
not
remember.
anymore.
Yeah, I remember just
That
being.
was actually kind of what I saw the music video. I was like, "What? They have a black singer?
Yeah,
That's cool."
you're just a sheltered suburban white kid, and then you see that music video, like a black guy, like fucking you just go fucking like you just get blue pilled as fuck. You're like, oh, those guys like that music too. That's cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like
They're just like us.
yeah, they're just like us.
They're people too.
No, I was 100%. Of
course they are.
I was 100%. Like I had, you know, because I was also like Slipknot and stuff like that. But 8th grade was like Megadeth, Metallica, Rush, Iron Maiden.
Dad rock.
Yeah, dad rock for sure. Because my
Now it's like grandpa rock.
my best friend Lawrence was what he was into.
Okay.
And so it's like I got all my good music from like him, and then I saw what scene girls looked like, and I was like, I would literally punch my grandma in the face to just sniff the chair of like a couple of these girls from high school.
Shitty Victoria's Secret perfume.
Right. And I'm like, that's a cool song. It's just the worst thing I've ever heard in my life.
Bombshell.
Or like, it's like you had people like, I Set My Friends on Fire. Like that was unironically their favorite band. I'm just like, that's.
Oh, they're one of the kids that like use the Axe body spray to like make fires on tables and shit. I just triggered like a deep memory in him.
It's just like, I feel like,
Like a fucking psyop.
we just all knew who that kid was.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I read this thing the other day. It's would you rather, what was it?
I will say all this sub talk makes you want like a sandwich.
Yeah. Would you rather reset at 18 knowing what you know now? But in order to do it, you in the most closest 100 people of your life. So I know you don't have like 100 close people, but it's like just like think about like a chart of the 100 people in your life that you've spent the most time with. So even like the 100th is like an hour, right?
Right.
So the top 100 people of your life have to sit in a movie theater with you and rewatch every cringe thing you did from 2008 to 2000 or like your high school years. Like, would you do it?
No. Knowing that was like the kicker. I was like, nope, I'm going to lay in that bed that I just made.
I literally
I'm good.
will lay awake at night sometimes and I'm like, I can't believe I did that.
I get out of the shower sometimes and I wish I could like, as cringe as this is about to sound, like the whole like pensive thing from Harry Potter, whatever, like Dumbledore takes all his memories and shit out. Like that's like, I wish I could do that and then just like delete that.
That's why military dudes drink, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm pretty good about like repressing memories. So I feel like my answer now is yes, I would totally do that. And then like I'm gonna see something and be like, not this.
Until you get a very cringy memory where you're like, God, did I really think or say that? Like, what the fuck was wrong
Just
with me?
every text message, every fucking
Right.
Now, were you overseas on your 21st birthday?
I was. So I actually was stationed in Japan for 4 years.
Nice.
Cool. Where?
Sasebo, which is like a little tiny little fishing town.
Sounds made up.
Right. Sasebo.
Up. We're great. Up. Thanks,
Hello.
Andrew.
You're welcome.
We're done.
Dang, you like my shirt?
So
hentai shirt?
Sasebo, which is down in about an hour or so from Nagasaki. Yeah, that Nagasaki.
You ever heard of it?
You ever heard of it, boy? Yeah, so it's near Nagasaki. It's on Kyushu, so it's not the main island, the Honshu. It's Kyushu, which is the island to the southwest.
Sure. I believe
there.
you.
So I was there for 4 years at the naval base there that we have.
And what was that like? What was Japan living?
Honestly, awesome, dude. Japan's pretty sweet. One, the drinking age was 20, so I got there when I was 20, so I could drink there, but not in the United States where I'm from.
So what domestics did you like more, American or Japanese?
That's the thing. So I didn't really drink growing up. Like it's not beer. Like I didn't like beer, and so I started out with like Corona. Which is a lot higher than some people start. People drink even worse than that, So I started with Corona, and then I kind of worked my way to like Japanese domestics. Like I liked Sapporo Ichiban is pretty good.
Hell yeah.
You cut that with some cucumber sake, with some sake bombs. Very delicious. You got, I like Asahi or, there's Sapporo. Yeah, Asahi, Sapporo. Sapporo's good. There's other ones, I'm sure, but yeah.
Which one? The Kirin.
Kirin Ichiban.
Kirin's one of my favorites.
It's really good.
I get that every time I go get sushi.
I think I just said that one, actually. Yeah.
Did you? You said.
A lot of their beers are very malty, though. They're very big into like malt. They're not big into like flavors. Like I think now towards the end of my time there, they started dabbling into like IPAs a little bit, which is a little interesting. But I remember just seeing the commercials for like Japanese beer. They're all about a lot of big malty flavor, and then like a lot of foam, like really creamy foam.
It's like featuring like Robert De Niro. They always have like the weirdest dude.
It's
like,
Tommy Lee Jones
yeah,
for a lot of those. Tommy Lee Jones is like all over billboards over there.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. That and Shiba Inus, of course.
Yeah, I heard there's a lot of like an old American actors that are in a lot of Japanese commercials.
Yeah, a lot of because that's just what they know about American culture. I don't know,
Hi, I'm Tommy Lee Jones.
yeah, it's literally just it's what's the coffee? It's Boss Coffee. Boss Coffee is like it's Tommy Lee Jones on vending machines, on cans of coffee with the Shiba Inu. It's just the weirdest ads, and the game shows over there are fucking great.
Oh, for sure.
Like I remember, I didn't know what the hell was going on, so I had to use like context clues. It was one where you had these like attractive Japanese women that were these guys had to sing karaoke and had to sing the entire song while getting jerked off.
What?
And they couldn't.
What?
And they couldn't.
What?
And they would if they bust, they would lose.
What?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm not.
That
I
was
wish,
a public access TV show?
it was late at night. Yeah.
Damn.
I'm gonna look this up, and we're 100% gonna see porn first. What do I look up? Do you remember what it was called?
Something Japanese. I don't fucking know.
Some ching chong
Rub and
bullshit.
tug sing along.
I spelled Japanese wrong.
Karaoke hand jobs. I don't,
Yeah.
Karaoke. Yeah, I'll try a karaoke hand job.
Let's see. Well, hold
Show.
on.
game show.
Let's just do this first.
Oh, there it is. Where guys have to sing karaoke first. They're getting hand jobs. Yep.
Oh yes, I'm over 18. Thank you.
Well over 18, unfortunately.
Okay, let's see. Oh,
Damn it.
I told you though.
Damn.
See?
They totally
Where do
have-
I sign up?
They totally you know that guy lost.
yeah.
They have the money shot in that shot.
But they blurred out the dicks because they're not allowed to show dicks.
Oh, you fucking! I thought they were like under the table.
No, they were under the table, but like it's all like blurred out under there. Yeah.
You made me think
But
that
there was a dick camera?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't. I really don't remember that much.
Yeah, we're not gonna find it. Whatever. That's so fucking sweet. If anyone listening to the show can find a video of this game show,
You're just gonna get a bunch of videos of guys getting jerked off while singing.
Oh, I got one for you.
I got one for you. Adults with snake bites.
yeah, that'd be fun. I do that.
I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But are you prepared for your boys to see like your bust face?
I don't have a bus face.
Islands in the stream. That. And you start fucking.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm
You
like.
think that you could do it stone
I
cold?
feel,
Like you
I
could
feel
sing?
like I stonewall anyways.
You
when I
could.
bust.
You could
I
look.
feel like I'm just like
you could sing full karaoke while like you're in the literal act of busting.
Yes. Yes, I think I could.
No, we can't.
All right, episode 100. Got it figured
Episode
out.
100.
Christian gets jerked off while singing.
If you would like to participate in episode 100 and jerk both me and Christian off while we sing karaoke,
while dressed like a little
Yeah.
anime girl.
And yes, and don't worry, we will record it, so it is not prostitution, it is pornography. This is a good time to also mention patreon.com/basementdweller-production.
Oh,
We're also not going to pay you, so it's definitely not prostitution.
You gotta do it for the game.
Yeah.
Love of the game.
It's time to start the Patreon-only episode, Casting Couch. That is crazy.
Times
So
are
I was,
tough, man.
I was gonna say like I mean, you get American channels. I'm assuming, right? Like, or is it just like streaming services?
I mean,
Like,
at the time, like Netflix was like barely catching on, but you couldn't get it without a VPN. This is like what? I mean, I was there from 2011 to 2015.
so what did you do to pass the time?
Drink mostly, eat, and I had a girlfriend, so we just
A Japanese girlfriend?
American girlfriend on my ship.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's cool.
You could do that?
yeah. I mean, with certain.
Wait, was she also in the military?
Yeah, she was in the Navy. She was on my ship. Yeah.
I thought like you just like brought someone with you or something like
No,
like truck drivers
like a
can bring
sex
their
slave?
wives
or,
with
or
them.
like trafficking someone, or no.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Just trafficked her to Japan.
Yeah. I mean, there was people like in Indonesia that were like offering to like give you their kids to like take with you on the boat because they thought the ship would go to America.
Well, now I'm fucking sad, bro. What
dude.
the fuck?
No, you see some like people think complain about. I mean, I'm not saying that life here is always so great for everybody, but I mean, like you'll see some crazy shit overseas, like abject poverty, like people washing their clothes in like rivers and shit like that. Like, yeah, we went to Indonesia, and like, not even like a pretty part of Indonesia, like Surabaya, where the water was so polluted that we had to like shut off our valves to like draw, because our ship draws in water, which it then distills or like it takes the water and it does reverse osmosis to make it drinkable. That's how you get water to drink and shower and everything like that. But yeah, so we treat that water with bromine, and I guess we don't have enough bromine to kill whatever was in that water. So
That's rough, buddy.
Straight up, just the water's just beyond saving. Like,
yeah.
Oh,
You see people just like washing their clothes in it.
fuck.
That's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
So, what is the ratio of like if I wanted a Navy girlfriend? Like, what's the ratio of like dudes to ladies?
Depends on the ship. Some ships are all male.
I was gonna say like
mine was weird. So my ship, I was on an LSD, a dock landing ship.
Yeah.
And it's a marine, basically like a marine ferry. And you can look it up if you want. Yeah. USS Germantown. Spilled. Yep, there it is.
Let's take a look. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was supposed to be on
You were on that boat?
Yeah. I was supposed to be on the Essex originally, which is basically like the Pillar of Autumn. But so there was a big old switcheroo with me on that. So I got on that thing. Yeah. So you can actually see what I worked on at the top, up there at the front. Actually, probably the first photo.
Blurry. Oh, here
Top
we go.
left would be the one. Yeah, right there. So you can zoom in on that photo up at the top above the bridge right there, that white dome.
Oh, okay.
There's also that missile launcher. We worked on those as well.
That's cool.
Hell yeah.
Very nice.
Yep, that was my home for 4 years.
And that's where you met her?
Yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say you must have had some super riz to pull off a. I feel like
Honestly, she hated me when we
To
first
get
met.
one of the 3 girls on that boat.
I was gonna say yeah.
No,
like-
actually, my ship, like normally that ship carries about 250 Navy. We had almost 100 women on my ship.
Okay.
We had a lot of women. We were stacked
Nice.
for women. It was very strange. Not very.
I'm sure you were.
Uncommon.
Bet you were a little nervous.
No, I wasn't stacked. I was bricked. So yeah, so we actually had a lot of women. May
she
or may not
hated
have
you when you first met.
when we
her?
first met. Yeah.
Why?
Because I came on the ship as a E4, a third class petty officer.
Fucking scrub? Is that why?
Not even a scrub. That's like they thought that I can't because a lot of people don't know that my job, like once you go through the schooling, one of the perks is you get automatic E4, which normally you have to take a test for. But for us, our training's so long, it's just kind of like a little kicker for us. And so and same with like a lot of other special programs, like the nuclear program and like I think even the SEALs. They'll get automatic E4, but they call it push button E4. So everyone thought that I was like a fleet, like that was my second command. Like I was going from another ship to another ship, from one ship to another ship. And then so like there's always a stigma where obviously you go from one ship to another ship. You're like, oh, my ship used to do it like this or whatever. And then so there's people like that just kind of we have to like
So just like
break in basically.
like a bigger scale, like change of management type of deal. We're just
Yeah,
like,
kind of
this
like going
guy
from like
doesn't know
one
how it
company to
works.
another. You know,
Yeah.
it's like oh, one
that.
company did it this way. My company here does it this way, or here's my job now.
Now, was the Navy the goal from the beginning?
No, actually, so that's actually kind of an interesting story. So I was in ROTC. I was JROTC because I'm one
Damn,
of
were
those
you walking around the high school with those civilians?
yeah, with those civilians. Yeah, serving my high school.
Yeah.
You're insulting a future Navy officer.
Brown. So yeah, you're insulting. Yeah, seriously, it's fucking bad. So JROTC was Army JROTC, so I was a pickle. And I don't know why. I think like when I graduated high school, I just didn't want to go to college because I didn't really know what I wanted to do.
Yeah, man,
so I didn't
fuck
want to like
school.
spend a bunch of money and pussyfoot around school
Yeah.
and then be in debt.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I also wanted to get out of Arizona, and being in a JROTC, they poach you for getting blown up overseas to serve your country for oil. So it was kind of like I kind of knew that I was gonna join. I just didn't know what branch until I saw Transformers, the first one, and then the Air Force was like the dream for me.
Yeah.
The scene with the AC-130 just like blasting the Scorpion droid,
Fuck yeah, dude.
and then the A-10s just
Yeah.
all of that, and that just seemed so cool. But the Air Force recruiter was like too lazy to pick me up from school, and like I had no drive.
So
I had
you
no
want to
car.
be like a pilot?
No, I just wanted to join the Air Force. I just wanted to join.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that was like, all right, I want to go to the Air Force. But the recruiter was like, oh, I can see you guys on like this Wednesday, like next month. Like they were just like not interested in like poaching people as much as the other branches.
Whereas the Army's just like, come on in, bud.
So
Like-
the Army, my buddy of mine was like looking to join the Army that I went to like one of the guys I knew from high school. And so I took the ASVAB with the Army and I got like a 96 out of 99, which is, if anyone doesn't know, it's the test that like, it's your aptitude test for the military.
Yeah.
And so obviously the higher your score, the more jobs, the lesser your score, or if you're colorblind, the less jobs. And we had a guy, I think the minimum, like bare minimum was like the 20s. We had a guy that scored like just above that.
It's 21.
He had cerebral palsy, mind you.
Oh my god.
He became a combat engineer in the Army.
Are you fucking
Still
He
do
got
that?
in. This is 2008, bro. Like the Iraq War was still going on. They needed bodies.
Fuck.
And so that's why I didn't join the Army. So like I got in, I was like, okay. They're like, pick your job. You have your entire opening. So I was like, okay, I want to be human. I forget what they called it. Basically an interrogator.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. Man.
A guy in a tank. Or like a comms, radar, missile, whatever, just kind of like anything with weapons or anything with intelligence, like that appealed to me. But my mom wasn't a citizen at the time. She was still a resident, so I couldn't get any like that, just dried up all the intelligence jobs. And there was a clause with the Army where you would be, you could pick your job or whatever, like your top 3, but like ultimately your needs of the Army. And at the time they needed like 400 positions filled for infantry. And I'm like, bro, I'm not going to go become a grunt and get blown up kicking someone's door in a country where we have no business being in, you know? So I was like, let me sit tight. Let me think about it. And then the Navy called me one day. The recruiter did, because my best friend growing up joined the Navy, like signed the papers. And I was like, okay, cool, I'll join the Navy.
Easy.
Done.
Done.
Major life decision. Just like, easy.
He's my fucking boy.
He's my fucking boy.
He's my
We didn't even
fucking
ship
homie.
together either. I left before him. We were supposed to leave together. And then they fucked up his paperwork because they found out he was way more colorblind than he really let on to be. And so that like narrowed down his scope of jobs. And I was like, that's so weird that they would like shit on you for that. Like, why the colorblindness? And then it wasn't until I got to like my training for my job, like the fire controlman, when I realized that why colorblind, because we had a guy that managed to get through. They found out he was colorblind and he was like in the same like hole, like he was going to be in the same job as me. Found out he was colorblind. He became a cook. And I'm like, what? And then it hit me when we had to identify the resistors, like little electronic kind of components, and they're color coded to determine the resistance on them when you install them in circuits. And I'm like, oh, maybe that's why you need to see colors.
Blow up a whole boat.
Yeah, maybe that's why you need to see colors.
So there goes all
and
the-
wires too. Like obviously, if you're EOD,
There goes all the hydraulic fluid.
Yep. Cut the wrong wire. Cut the gray wire. It's blue. Oh, fuck.
So was this a plan before high school?
Kind of. I just wanted to get out, and I didn't want to go to college, so I was just kind of done with school, and it was just kind of a convenient way to like, all right, let me at least like go do this for a bit, see some stuff, and then kind of go from there. So I
Military
originally was
family?
gonna
Military family?
kind of. I mean, my dad was in the Navy, and I think he was just kind of like, and he did a couple years in college, and it was like, I don't know, we try something else, and so he joined the Navy, and then like met my mom and everything like that, had me, and then just like, all right, I'm out, and then went back to school.
Is there a branch of the military that you personally find to be a total joke?
A Space Force right now. It would be the Coast Guard, but honestly, I'm kind of jealous. I should have joined the Coast Guard.
Why?
They actually have like a real legit like living situation. Like, I mean, like, so it was funny. So we were off the coast of Thailand. Like, we used to always shit on the Coast Guard, of course, But then I actually met dudes in the Coast Guard when I was like in my C school in San Diego, and I was like, oh, these guys have it like legit. Like, you just kind of like come and go as you please, and then like. Yeah, like if you wake up, you're like, don't feel like going to work. You're just like, hey, I'll take a day of leave. Like, you can't really do that in the Navy. You have to like, they fucking like just
Right.
different. And so we were off the coast of Thailand, and then we saw a Coast Guard cutter. I'm like, I know you guys are the Coast Guard, but you're not supposed to be going to other coasts. Like, this doesn't make any sense. I didn't realize that the Coast Guard actually goes overseas.
Yeah.
They go up along the coast up to Alaska, like all the way down to like Mexico. They do a lot of drug ops, obviously.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'm like, that sounds kind of cool. You just get to hug the coast of
they're
Mexico,
mostly-
and you just go into ports in Mexico.
Because their whole thing is they're mostly domestic, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And they actually do some really cool shit. And so my berthing on my ship, I had to share a room about the size of this, probably about 3 of these, like the room that we're in now,
Okay.
with 50 other men stacked 3 high.
50?
Yeah, 51 dudes. So 18 bunks.
God.
18 like triple bunks.
That room probably smelled great.
With the air conditioning on, it was fine. It kept the smell down. When the air conditioning wasn't working as well, or if they were fixing it, or we're in the middle of the fucking equator,
Yeah.
it get pretty ripe.
God damn.
And
51 dudes, and like they're stink, plus they're like dirty laundry.
And plus, out of those 50 dudes, there's at least 15 of them that don't care about how loud their farts are.
Yeah.
At least. And I'm saying at least, being generous. So I'm assuming on top of that, too, you're trying to sleep and there's just around.
Oh yeah, blowing it up, dude, jerking off.
I was going to say, was jerking off? Like you saw dudes jerking off?
Constantly.
Really?
Oh yeah, all the
Dude, I
time.
would
I feel like that has to be something you just kind of gotta like get over.
Would
like,
you jerk off?
If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it.
You
You
jerk off?
just gotta learn how to
Christian,
do
you
it
jerk off?
quietly. That's all.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
Christian,
What?
you jerk off? Like you jerk off in that?
Would I jerk off in a room with 50 men?
3 high?
Well, we're not looking at you the whole time.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, everybody knows what the situation is. Like, I'm sure it'd be fine.
I would specifically, like, so people don't fuck with me, I'd look right at you and just.
We had a guy that he was in his bunk and he forgot to put his headphone jack
Nice.
in all the way on his laptop. And so we're just like talking in the bar thing, and we just hear this like girl just getting just railed, just like, where the fuck is that coming from? And then we're looking and we see like this dude's bunk, and I was like, well, we should tell him, hey man, like your headphone jack. And we see like the curtain moving, and I'm like, oh, he's like in the middle of it.
Oh, is a curtain?
Yeah, you get a little curtain, yeah.
Oh, you get a privacy thing? Yeah. Oh, I'm jerking off 3 times a day. It's no problem. No, we're good. I
Oh,
thought
good.
it was.
That was it. That was
I literally need
Did you hear
one.
about Santoro? He never leaves his bunk,
Yeah,
man.
dude. Yeah, dude. Of
He's
course.
claimed he's been sick for 3 days. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it. So anyway, the Coast Guard. So, and that's for E6 and below. You have to share with a shit ton of dudes. Obviously, women, it's smaller berthings, but it's the same situation.
Sure.
You have 20 other girls, but a lot of them are lesbians, so they're just fucking.
Are you
scissoring.
serious?
Oh, they're banging like crazy down there, dude.
Were dudes banging?
No, there were a lot of gay guys, but not. They weren't banging in the berthing.
Really?
Not because we're homophobic or anything.
Just to
like that.
assert
They
dominance, I totally would.
Damn, but all the women were just fucking.
Yeah, it's
Like you heard
very
about it-
weird double standard, right?
Like you
Yeah,
heard
what the
about it
fuck?
all the time? Like that was like a problem?
All right, they would sleep in each other's bunks and shit. Yeah.
Were they allowed to?
No, but when the other lesbians are in on it,
Wow.
yeah, it's very interesting.
Damn, I'd treat it like fucking prison style. And I'd be like,
You'd think it would sound like a beehive from all like the vibrators and shit in the middle of a deployment,
the
but no, man.
friction.
it
that
just-
is
it's
so
just-
interesting.
yeah.
That like because I would think, in all honesty, like I would think because the interactions that I've
I mean,
had
people still
with-
had sex on the ship too.
Well, no,
Men
but
and
what
women.
I'm saying is
hidden
that
away.
the interaction that I've had with other like gay men is that gay dudes are just as grotesque as straight dudes. Like when you're like in the zone, like you're
Well,
like
think of it, it's a bunch of dudes, and no one's there to go. Oh, I can't. I'm not in the mood. I have a headache. You know, like it's just
Yeah.
it's just a bunch of horny dudes that are just looking to get.
But that's what I'm saying is that
Dehorned.
like there was no subtlety.
I mean, when I joined, it was still like don't ask, don't tell. But then they repealed that.
Yeah.
And then so like people we knew who was gay on the ship and who wasn't.
Yeah.
But it's not like we treated them any
I'm
different.
just saying if I was super boned up and I found out that another dude I found pretty was into dudes, I'd be like,
Oh, and they banged. I'm sure they just did it very discreetly.
yeah, oh, that's nice.
We had one girl that got an STD while on deployment.
Did anyone get pregnant?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Really?
Women do that to get off deployments. Yeah, it's
Really?
a quick way to get off deployment. However, the Navy counteracts with that and resets your C counter if you get pregnant while in
What
the
does
middle
that
of-
mean?
So when you're in the Navy, depending on your job, you have what they call sea duty and shore duty rotation. So you have to do a certain amount of years sea duty, which is a command that's at sea, a ship or a sub.
Yeah.
Some other commands maybe qualify as sea duty, even though that's not technically being on a ship or whatever. But right, so you do a certain amount of years of that before you're eligible to rotate to a shore command. So, for instance, for me, my job, there's not really weapon systems that are on ships that are on land. So my limitations for shore duty are limited. So I have to do more time at sea. So usually it's like a 4-4 rotation. So for you, 4 years at sea, you're eligible for 4 years of shore duty. In my case, it's 5 and 3. So say if you're a woman that gets pregnant on 4 years and 364 days before you rotate to shore duty and get pregnant and have to be transferred off, that resets to 0.
So you got to go do 4 years of duty.
After you
again?
have the kid and then do like the maternity leave thing and everything like that, you have to report back to a sea command.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you're smart and you plan it out, you wait, you can conceive the child while you're at the tail end
Now,
of your
is that-
sea duty, but be pregnant and be like put on like the pregnancy thing.
Yeah.
And then have your kid while you're on just switching over to shore duty. That way you have the next couple of years with your kid before you
On the
go
shore.
off.
Yeah.
Before you go. If we're on shore duty, it's like it's like a 9 to 5 job.
Wow.
You go to the base, you do whatever you got to do on the base, and then you go home. You don't deploy.
That is so interesting. Like, I just feel like, in all seriousness, I think because it involves work and that I sleep like next to these boys, it's just like the last thing on my mind would be like, I'm gonna date. Like, it's so interesting that some people are just like, fuck it, like, let's, you know what I mean? Like, so were you dating in that situation?
Like a girl?
Yeah, well, no, I'm saying like in that situation of like when you were like sleeping 3 high with like everybody, like you had a girlfriend during that.
Yeah. I mean, during foreign parts, I always had someone to like hang out with, obviously. We'd bang on the ship, too.
That's cool.
Fuck yeah.
That's super cool.
Did anybody ever like bang like people like at the ports you were at?
Yeah, absolutely. Like
native
hookers, or
people?
are you talking about like people that are on the ship?
I guess either or. No,
Both,
no.
all of the above, I guess.
Hookers or like, did anybody have like a Japanese girlfriend or anything like that?
I mean, a lot of people had Japanese wives and things like that because, I mean, the Japanese culture at the time, I don't know if it's changed or whatever, but they view women as only marriageable between certain ages. So you had a lot of like basically like early women in their Japanese women in their late 20s, early 30s that are essentially like spinsters written off by Japanese men that just want to have like a husband and the kids and all that shit, right? And so you'd see a lot of them just hanging around the Navy bases, and you have a guy that is in the Navy that's looking for a Japanese wife. And
Were there a lot of dudes that were quick to get married?
oh, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, it gets you off the ship. It gets you in. You can apply for
But
housing.
was it that bad? I mean, like, because again,
You
I'm
have the
sure you're
option
gonna-
between living in a bunk and living in a house.
Well, no, I'm just saying that the way that you're describing it makes it sound like it's like, dude, this is only 4 years of my life. But people seem to be hating it that much that they're like, I'm gonna do anything to get out of this.
Gets a little extra space. You know what I mean? Gets you something to do. I guess I don't know. People are also handle stressful situations differently. You know, some people don't adapt to it very well. So
Did you get to hang out in like the big cities a lot?
yeah, I went to Tokyo.
That's cool.
So we had our other naval base is out near Tokyo, and so we'd go there for trainings and things like that. We would just go out to Tokyo, Roppongi. All
It's
that
pretty.
stuff.
It's pretty
Shibuya.
Americanized, isn't it? It's pretty Americanized, isn't it?
I mean, there's a lot of English. Like you can get by. I wouldn't say it's Americanized, but I mean, there's still like a lot of Japanese stuff. But yeah,
That's cool. Yeah, that's the place. Like it's like there, and
I would definitely recommend people to visit Japan. It's awesome. It's
Oh, I'm
pretty
sure.
Cool, yeah,
You know, we wanna do
even going
that.
to 7-Eleven in Japan is pretty great.
That's cool. Yeah, I read when I learned about all like the vending machine things.
Oh,
that's
if you
when I
have
got
pocket
excited.
change, you will never go thirsty in Japan.
Yeah, like I heard about all the cool, like they have underwear, like in like vending machines.
In
They
some
got-
of the bigger cities, yeah, not me, not where I live. Because
is there heavy smokers in Japan?
like tobacco smokers? Oh, absolutely. And there's cigarette vending machines.
Fuck
There,
yeah.
you can still smoke in bars.
Because weed's like super illegal. in
Very
Japan.
illegal in a lot of places.
Like,
yeah.
will kill you. Like,
Yeah, pretty much if you're like, you got to be in the Yakuza to like get your hands on it or know someone to get it.
Damn, did you ever hang out with any Yakuza?
No, no,
what the fuck kind of question was that?
I've been playing like Yakuza and
no. Though there's like bars that you'd go to that you weren't allowed to go if you weren't Japanese.
what?
I've heard about that.
And
yeah.
then like if you go to certain Japanese places, they kind of look at you funny if you have tattoos. Because the Japanese are very superstitious as well. So like I have a coyote skull on this part of my sleeve right here. And like my landlord, when I had my apartment in Japan, would like cover it because he like didn't want to see like skulls or like bad luck. You know.
Interesting. Hey. Okay, go ahead. That's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, for people who don't know, there is a bee in the studio right now.
just capture
and
it,
we
put it
need
away.
to. Speaking of superstitions, and since seeing Kai reminded me, Christian, I was excited to tell you this. By the way, did you know that Courtney refuses to put new shoes on a table?
Why would you be putting
She-
shoes on a table?
Well, listen. Well, no, like to wrap them. So she got her son sneakers.
Okay.
So they're in the box.
Yeah.
And she was gonna. Did you get it? Nice. So she was gonna wrap it. And
Like wrap the box as a present.
yeah.
Okay.
And like I noticed that she was on the floor. Like crisscross applesauce. Like not wrapping it on a, and I was like, why? And she was like, ever since I was a kid, my family has just done this. Have you ever heard of this?
no.
Apparently, like, I mean, it's an Italian thing. I was like, of course it fucking is. Our roommate Courtney's fucking, bobbity boopy as fuck. And like, but no, apparently it symbolizes like death. And like, apparently, like back in the day, like you had like, your Baba Giuseppe who would go work in the mines, and then if he died, like as like tribute, you'd put his miner boots like on display. and so it represents like I don't know if you ever heard about that. I just
Not
learned about
Italian,
that
so no.
because you mentioned Japanese, and I believe that too, and I've heard a lot about that with like tattoos. They're very because
A
I
lot of
learned about-
culture's superstitious. Depends on what they're
well,
superstitious
they're very.
about.
They're also very. Aren't they like just like incredibly just like I don't know the word for it, but like the reason why in anime like there is a lot of like fan service, but even like protagonists of animes when they hold hands with a girl, they like like they freak because they're super like just like to themselves, aren't they? Like they're very sheltered people.
Yeah, they're very. I guess maybe the word would be demure. I guess like kind of like not sheltered, but shy.
Like prudy, kind of.
Prude. Yeah, there you go. Like very prude. The culture's very prudish. Granted, I mean, as maybe the younger generation is obviously a little more opened up, but
I was gonna say like they have some of
How
this.
do you
a
have
large
some-
portion of their a large portion of the Japanese population is a bunch of old people. So it's like just a bunch of boomers.
Yeah, that's like the whole thing though too. Is that it's like
They're like slowly dying away. Yeah.
no, well, no, they live like to be 1,000, but also it's just like you just like my baba is gonna hang out with me like in my house, like so it's like they're consistently in there. So I'm assuming it's their values that are kind of like.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, how do you have such a prudy community from the same culture
That has underwear vending machines.
that has underwear vending machines and tentacle porn and shit?
and all kinds of anime porn that's in like the shelves in
Yeah, like you can just
the
walk in
convenience
anywhere.
store. Yeah,
Because it's like super taboo. Like isn't that the thing? Like it's because they're repressed so much. It's kind of like like it's like Christian.
It's like if they gotta get it out in comic books, like just let them.
Yeah, it's like
Yes.
American Christian teenagers. It's like those are the like growing up like those are the freakiest fucking
it's funny because
people.
all the people that are like total weebs that are up in anime like will go to Japan thinking it's like their like mecca, but like the Japanese view anime as like child cartoons.
Really?
Yeah, it's if you like anime over there, like it's because you're a child. Like it's like almost like they're Disney adults over there.
Yeah, just like here. What a coincidence.
Yeah, weird. Imagine that.
Look, I'm sorry, man. I got to round it off again. That's another person I'm sick of talking about. I cannot handle the 29-year-old, and that's their whole personality. So you watch this? Yeah, I was on
Does he have a sword
Crunchyroll.
up there on your
I
wall?
fucking love it.
That's cool, but like you have different things that you like to do other than anime. Is all I'm saying.
You can
Yeah,
like
I mean-
anime. That's
No, you
nothing
can.
wrong.
But like I'm saying, I think
But you're not Naruto running through the world
Right,
and thinking like you're in the anime.
like you go to Sosoba in
You're not
downtown.
basing your entire impression of Japan and the Japanese culture based on your animes.
Right. Okay.
Right. Were most people friendly to you? Like on mainland?
Japanese are very xenophobic, actually.
Just get the fuck out of here. I heard the Japanese were
They're very
just
nice. They're very polite about it.
Yeah,
They'll
but
just
they're-
flash you the X. They'll just be like,
Are you serious?
yeah. They're
That
like,
just means like fuck off. like-
no gaijin. Gaijin means foreigner in Japanese, so they just flash you the X, and you're like,
I heard
you're just
you-
like, get the fuck out, like just
Wow.
I don't
like
fuck
pre
with you.
civil rights era America, just like get the fuck out. You're not allowed in here.
Wow.
God damn.
I don't know. I heard
A lot of it isn't necessarily rooted in racism, but some of it might be because even though like it's different. Like so, when you get in trouble in the military here, right? Something dumb like a bar fight or something like that.
Right.
Maybe the cops get called, they break it up. Maybe they throw you in the drunk tank and you just get slap on the wrist or something, right? But Japan, they're very by the book, and so when you're acting a fool, like it's like you're like, what the hell are you doing? Like, why are you acting like this? You know. And so when people in the Navy get into bar fights or they do property damage, they take that shit very seriously because they're just like, what are you doing? Why are you acting like this? You know, you shouldn't be doing this. Even though I know you're drinking, you shouldn't be acting a fool, right? Be responsible. So when they see that, they're just kind of like very taken aback by it. So it's like, you know, we're the only criminals there, essentially. Small portion of the population in Japan, and we're the number one cause for their like petty crimes.
Are U.S. soldiers?
U.S. service. Yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag as far as how they think about us
is so
over
funny.
there. Because on the one hand, we're not really assimilating to their culture. We're just there. And some of us, we
assignment,
go there, we do our time, and yeah, we respect the culture, we respect the customs and everything like that. But then you got a lot of idiots that just don't. And so then you got the worst on the very extreme edge that like commit crimes like DUI and to kill somebody, you know what I mean, or rape somebody or anything
Right.
horrible. And so when someone, that's the unfortunate of being stationed in Japan is that when someone fucks up, you're
Shut it down.
completely. The Navy overcorrects completely. And like we had in 2012 in Okinawa, we had a woman got mugged and raped
Oh my
by
goodness.
two guys. They weren't even stationed. They were reservists that were there for like 2 weeks. And they're fucking, they're a piece of shit. And so they're in jail. Actually, they might be getting released soon. They're in jail for it. And so as a result of that, like the Navy was like, you're not allowed off base unless you live off base, and you got to go pretty much straight from the base to home. And,
It's like on house arrest, basically. Like,
Basically, we're all on house arrest on the base. Yeah.
it sucks.
Wow.
And then they're like, oh, if you hadn't gotten in trouble in the last 3 years with anything alcohol related, then like you're on restricted liberty, so you can't even like go to bars on base.
From what our friend Jesse, we have a friend named Jesse who's in the Marines, and from what he's
The Marines
told,
in Okinawa are like notorious for all kinds of fuckery.
and he
Okinawa.
has a wife who is like definitely like Islander descent. She's from Hawaii,
Okay.
but he would tell me that it's just like the Japanese dude are like the 1960s USA Ku Klux Klan. Like there's especially to other like Asian cultures.
Yeah.
They're just like
Other Asian cultures don't like them either, mostly because of World War II.
right.
But yeah, it's,
Right, but like from what I've been told, they're just like, dude, you're Filipino, you get the fuck out of here. Like,
yeah.
don't clip that. Yeah, dude, I've heard some crazy shit of just like how like just old head Japanese dudes,
yeah.
you know, and they're just like you.
And it's weird because they when they associate when they like racially like discriminate against Americans, they just view us as Americans. They don't view us as like it's not a skin color thing.
Right.
They'll just be like, but like I'd be walking. So we had to do like shore patrol on when we're in port, and so you basically just be walking around the base, making sure that no one in the Navy is causing any trouble. We basically would be a liaison. So rather than having them deal with Japanese police, they deal with us, which is like be able to kind of keep the noise down. You know what I mean? For big Navy. And it'd just be mostly breaking up drunk sailors. Be like, okay, man, curfew's now. Like, you know, time to go home.
Yeah.
Shit like that. But yeah, you get like these drunk ass Japanese dudes that are all just going out in their little business suits, and they just be like, "Oh, American, oh John Wayne." It's all cowboy shit. Like they just think that we're nothing but fucking cowboys, and so they're just like, "Oh, American, oh," like just like pistol revolvers.
That's kind of cool, though.
It's funny as
I might
shit.
do it back.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Americans, oh, cowboy. Oh.
You heard that a lot?
Yeah.
A lot?
That's a lot of with the old head Japanese dudes, like the
Every-
old Japanese
Every
dudes.
day it's just some dudes
Flashing you with axe or pistol guns. Yeah.
That's so funny.
That's kind of cool, dude.
I would take that as a term of endearment.
It's funny. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Just personify you by like shooting.
And then they have like the Sasebo is known for like their burgers, like Japanese burgers. Clearly, that's an American thing that we kind of put them on them.
Did you ever go to a Japanese McDonald's?
Yeah.
Oh,
completely different menu. Same with
Yeah,
with Burger King.
You ever heard about those burger items, Christian? Like the Japanese McDonald's?
I have not.
Dude.
I have heard that it's like kind of
You get like shit like the Grand Canyon burger and shit like that. It's not even like what the fuck is this?
the Uncle Sam
USA
Supreme.
It's all
big
like
fatty, fat,
stereotypical America burgers. It's like the Southern burger, the Grand Canyon burger. It's
They
completely
got
different.
curly fries.
Completely different. Yeah.
That looks fire though,
Yeah,
dude.
chicken katsu burger.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude. Fucking
They're all and they're
samurai,
everywhere.
teriyaki samurai
They
burger.
had on base. Our base McDonald's had the Mega Muffin.
What is the mega muffin?
It's like a double egg McMuffin. It's got sausage, bacon, and ham.
Oh my god! Oh
Yeah.
my god!
The
Hell
Mega
yeah.
Muffin,
Dude,
yeah.
that's Christian's wet
It
dream
also
right there.
it paired well with the Mega Fry, which was 4 medium fries like taped together, like in like the drink carrier thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mega Fry, Japan, McDonald's.
Just guns and just we eat like shit.
Yeah.
That's just all they think about.
That's what I
us.
always imagine. It's
They
just
just think that
USA
we just eat
restaurants.
burgers and yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No
Dude.
way. That looks like a Photoshop, dude.
No.
That looks like a fucking Reddit
It's
post.
massive, yeah.
That's so.
That's
funny.
like a popcorn like cup thing. God,
You'd think
damn.
that we would have that.
I wish we had that. What the fuck?
That's insane. Yeah, dude, this is unreal. I heard that they had like crazy amount of like the chicken katsu burger was the one that I really wanted to
The
try.
teriyaki one that you showed, like that sounds kind of dope.
Yeah, that's the that was the one that I remember seeing from my other friend that was stationed in Okinawa, and he
Katsu's like, is that like pork belly, right?
It's like chicken fried steak.
and then it's like cheese, and then it's like dude.
It's usually pork. You can do chicken as well. It's just fried. It's just panko fried.
Just like a way to fry
Oh
something.
my god,
yeah, it's like
dude,
a
they-
chicken fried
look at
steak.
this.
Yeah, cutlet. Usually it's a pork cutlet or a chicken cutlet.
Katsu filet burger from KFC.
Yeah, they have KFC over there as well. They serve all your fried chicken with a side of mayonnaise to dip it in.
It's the whitest condiment.
I think it was our roommate.
But it's Japanese mayonnaise, so it's actually like good. It's like Kewpie mayo.
Oh, yeah, like Kiwi mayo that rocks.
Yeah.
I remember our roommate showed us this this video. It was just like because I mean I'm a 2 to 3x US. So it's
So you'd be like
over
a 7X over
yeah,
there.
so they-
A giant.
I think
Japan.
a 4X Japan is medium us or something like that.
Damn.
So like plus size Japanese woman.
Hell yeah.
It's like a normal sized girl.
Like
Some of them are it'd be kind of chunky over there. a little
oh,
chubby.
I mean like yeah, I mean they're whatever. But like I want to see if I could find like there's some that were just like they're called like moo or just like fat girl.
Oh yeah. The Asians don't just they don't hold back.
Fat girl shirt.
Yeah, dude, straight up. Oh my god, it was.
I
So,
think it was in China. Yeah,
oh, is it? Yeah,
might have been in China.
it could have been, but yeah, I mean, I'm going too far for the.
The best
bit,
thing
but,
is
like,
English, where so they have different sayings that they'll think about in Japan. Yeah, right there, fatty fat girl.
fatty fat girl,
They call it English, and so it's where
BB fat.
when you translate something from Japanese to English, and the translation's just way the fuck off.
Right.
So it's like I have a shirt that I got. It was like butter. I held a brick of it once. It felt great, or something like that, or like, or it's like love in my inside.
Find
I
us
love you
that
most.
T-shirt right now. If you could find me that T-shirt, I will wear
Just
it.
look
on
it
the
up.
show.
English. Yeah, look up English.
How do you, is it just literally just?
English with just swap out the R. Yeah, English. Yeah,
This
English
sounds
shirts.
bad.
Yeah, it's like mistranslated things.
I'm ages are hopefully in your head since 1982. Lovey-dovey night, high floutin'.
You got racist park down there, wrapping paper. Yeah.
Oh my
And
god.
sometimes it's jumbled up. Yeah.
Spaway.
Yeah. Please urinate with precision and elegance.
Hell yeah.
Got a minute.
Deformed toilet for the handicap placard right there.
Got a minute, get a meat. There is no fish in my head. I do love meat anyhow. Anyway, both chicken and beef are meat. I need to get a mathematician to help.
We had a girl that we worked with. She was trying to get her phone, like a cell phone, a Japanese cell phone, and the guy was using Google Translate, which at the time was still kind of rudimentary. And he was trying to say that because she was 19 and you need to be 20 in Japan, I guess, in order to get the phone plan. And he was trying to say basically you need parental consent or parental whatever, right? But the way Google Translate said it, she needed permission from a man. It's like you need man's permission to buy phone or something like that. We're like, what?
Damn, I want that
Did
sign. I want that sign for the
Did your
podcast.
husband allow you to be here?
Yeah, basically.
We
Yeah.
gotta, we gotta find this sign for the podcast.
What is it? Racist park.
There's all kinds of ones. Yeah.
Deep fried female, cool band name.
Fuck yeah.
Right, female. Yeah.
These are pretty funny. And like, so you see these just around?
Yeah, you see them in like Japanese clothing
Paul is
stores.
dead.
It looks like Arabic. Yeah.
Dude, we've already been talking for an hour and a half. We didn't even get to talk about your trip to Israel or...
We could still. I mean, we have
I
the
can stay
fucking
here as long as you like. I don't
camera
care.
mishap.
I'm just saying, like, you've been all over the place, and like me and Christian have just been
I'm about to
stuck
go to
in-
Ireland possibly in a few months for 2 weeks for work. Yeah.
For work?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to say what you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I work for KLA, a semiconductor tooling company. So, for people that don't know what that means, you guys all heard of semiconductor chips, Intel, so I work at the fab down there. And so Intel obviously makes the microchips, but they don't make the machines that do it. And so my company does a lot of they just inspect. I basically work on big fancy microscopes,
Yeah.
essentially. So I'm just like a technician for them, a customer support engineer.
And why are you going to like different countries?
Usually for training, they'll set like our training center is in Singapore for my company. And then they sent me to Israel for some training there. And then for Ireland, they need bodies, they need help. So I'd be over there for 2 weeks to cover. They need extra bodies to help.
Still too fat to wear it, but I was gonna say shout out for the dope ass shirt.
I was hoping you're actually gonna wear it today.
I was too fat. I still every time I put it on, like I'm fat. Like it
Oh,
doesn't
really?
like they're again they're
I got ripped off from a flea market in
50
Jerusalem
shekels,
for that.
50 shekels for
60
a
shekels.
60 shekels for a
No, I'm
dope,
sorry, it was 100 and something shekels or something crazy. Yeah,
which is how like $50, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like $50 for that shirt.
For
it was
that
like 180. It was
shitty-
180 shekels. That's what it was.
shitty
It didn't
fucking-
dawn on me until I realized, like, wait, it's like $350 to a 350 shekels to $1. So I'm like, this is like a $50 T-shirt that I got from some random dude that just fleeced me in a market in Jerusalem.
And a part of me felt like honored. I was like, you got scammed for 180 shekels for a sick Guns N'
I
Moses
suddenly
t-shirt.
understand why anti-Semitism is a thing. Jokes.
They get you. They fucking get you.
Da, da,
That was cool.
da,
I mean,
da,
you
da.
said it was pretty cool.
The history of it is cool.
Because you were stoked. You said that you were stoked on like the buildings and the.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing like old shit. You know what I mean? Just like I'm a big history buff, and so like seeing like old like Crusader cities and like old ancient temples and shit like that. Like that was really cool. Like going to like the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which contains the place where Jesus was crucified, and then his tomb and things like that. You know, even if you don't believe necessarily in all of that stuff, it's just interesting to just be part of that. I guess just seeing because I mean, probably like historically speaking, someone that whether or not he was a son of God. Like
it's still some of the oldest
someone,
history.
Yeah, someone that either named Jesus or whatever was running around, and so I was just seeing kind of like where he'd been, I guess, and then seeing. I mean, I couldn't get to the Dome of the Rock, which is where Muhammad was ascended into heaven, where he had his vision.
Do you know how sad I was to find out that
and then seeing the Western Wall, which is the holy place in Judaism, and things like that.
We can't go visit that. Like it's like a whole thing. Like,
Yeah, because the Muslims conquered it.
When I found, I was so sad because when I was in high school. I'm not like a super religious guy, but like I have just like you guys just said, like I'm super interested in just like this is like old. Like this is like we still believe in this shit, And like I wanted to go to Mecca so bad. Like I wanted to do the trip and just see like what's it like
Go to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, man, fuck it. Like whatever.
Yeah.
Like do the whole like fucking big black rock thing. That's why I'm not allowed to go because I called it the big black rock thing. But I wanted to go and they were like, no, you literally can't. Like
you literally can't.
Yeah,
You're not Muslim.
So sad.
Yeah, it was funny.
Inshallah.
It was funny 'cause
Episode 100, Jacob converts to
Inshallah.
Yeah, inshallah, Jacob will go see the Mecca.
We were joking about it too, like on an older episode, and we were like, "What do you need? Like a fucking Muslim card to get in there?" And like you straight up.
Straight up. You have to be like in good standing too.
Yeah.
Like you have to like as a Muslim, you have to go there. Like it's a thing. Like you have to go. It's,
it's like the Wailing Wall for
pilgrimage.
Jerusalem. Like if you're a practicing Jewish person, you have to go to the Wailing Wall.
Yeah, and I went there. I didn't touch it because I felt that was a little sacrilegious of me.
Yeah.
But I like went up to it. I think it was just interesting seeing all of them do their little rocking and praying.
Doing their thing.
Which they do that on the planes.
Yeah.
What?
There's a bunch of like Orthodox Jews like praying like everywhere I went. They were like wrapped up. I thought he had a GoPro on, but it's like the scrolls that they put on there with like the leather strips and stuff like that. And they rock back and forth. They pray like the ultra Orthodox Jews. Yeah. With the dope ass hats.
The big furry ones?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Damn.
Oh, they're everywhere, man.
Oh, they dress sick as hell.
Yeah,
dude.
they look fucking stylish. I mean, some of them are kind of grimy because like you can tell they're just like a bunch of young dipshits that can't have like good shoes. But, like some of the older dudes, like the old head super Jews, like they had like the dope. Like those hats are expensive too.
Man, those J holidays are pretty dope. They have some really awesome
Their
rules.
food leaves something to be desired.
That's what I wanted to talk about too. Is you were saying that there was some of the most mid shit you've ever had in your life.
I swear it's like the Holocaust really just dampened their sense of taste or something, man.
Which is so
They're
ironic.
still eating like they're in the camps, man. It's just it's unseasoned meat and bread.
Which is a bummer because you're in fucking the Middle East, which is like the spice capital of the world.
I know. Didn't people go to war for spices over here? Apparently not. No, honestly, ironically enough,
$35.95
the
for
best
some
food in
cumin.
Israel that I had was in the West Bank.
Yeah.
The Arabs actually know how to season meat.
Damn.
It could have also just been the restaurants that I went to.
But you also went to Istanbul?
No,
you didn't.
No, I want to go. That'd be cool to go
That's-
see old ass
It's
Constantinople.
like, isn't that what like you're like what is your like ethnicity like background?
I'm half Mexican and like half white. My dad's
I
white.
don't know why I thought you said that like you had family or like you had ancestry from Istanbul.
Maybe back in the day or something. I don't know. I mean,
mean,
my mom
don't-
did the 23andMe, and obviously it's Native American from like the Aztecs and things. And then it's like a lot of it was Muslim from Spain because of all the Moors that went over there and they pretty much conquered Spain for a while, and then Spain like kicked them out.
That's cool. You're gonna go to you said Ireland?
Ireland, yeah, Fab 24, and outside of Dublin.
I keep telling
Go to the I can go to the Guinness and the Jameson, like.
Fuck yeah.
Or I guess it'd be the Jameson Distillery. My girlfriend just went there a couple days ago.
I make some bad decisions on that. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she's
there right now. Well, she's in
Yeah.
Scotland now. She was in Ireland for the last couple of days. Now she's in Scotland.
yeah. I tell everyone it's an open invitation, man. For my 30th birthday, I'm going to Oktoberfest, one way or another.
In Munich. My parents were there. They went there a couple of years ago.
I should go. Want to go back?
I've never been to Europe.
Oh, I thought you said. Oh, never mind.
I don't count my layover in London.
Yeah.
But I've been all over Asia because I was stationed in Japan, so we went all over
I just
Asia.
want a big old beer.
Das Boot.
Das Boot, I guess I'm not going to Israel. That was my shitty food. Not doing that.
I'm sure you can find good food, but I didn't. And I was in Tel Aviv.
I doubt it. It's probably too expensive.
It is very expensive over there.
Yeah. Probably, For you, my friend? 40 shekels.
Yeah, true. Maybe if I said I was Jewish, then maybe.
You kind of look like it with your beard. You can kind of pull it off a little bit.
I don't have the curls, man. I have the peyote.
I don't have the fucking curls.
That's true. You have the nose.
I think I could pass for Jewish.
I do. I got the
You think I
fucking.
could do it?
No.
Aren't you like 1/8 Jewish or whatever?
I'm like such a fucking sliver, dude. I'm literally that guy that's like, I got into college because I'm like 135th Navajo
Hey,
Indian.
Jacob, look at me real quick.
God, you didn't.
Oh, fuck you.
He's more than 1/8.
Yibby dibby doo doo. Yeah, I know. Fucking, it's rough.
So in in a world of 31 flavors, you're the cup of water they rinse the scoops in
Yeah.
genetically.
All that 1/8 went into his nose.
And my,
12.5% of him is
it went into my nose weight and my wonderful ability to tip. That was my fucking. So I always like to ask this for my military dudes. Any advice for any teenagers ready to go?
I guess know what you're getting into in a sense of like, I don't know. I think the military is, I mean, it's definitely obviously a career choice that many people can and have done, and it's got its perks.
Yeah. Do you still think it's a solid move?
It can be if for someone that doesn't want to go to college and wants to go to a trade school, basically for free and get paid and see a lot of cool shit. If you're lucky, it
love
depends.
that.
Obviously, your experience may vary. I mean, I wasn't stoked about going to Japan at first because I wanted to be in San Diego or Hawaii. But honestly, when I got the orders that I was going to Japan, I was just kind of like, I didn't join the Navy to be close to home. So it's
Right.
like, when is the next time I'm going to be living in Japan for the next 4 years on the government's dime?
Yeah.
So I essentially used it as my trade school. And, I have the VA disability. I have the trade. I don't actually have a formal education. And I have a pretty cool job, pays well. And I've done very well for myself. It's definitely, I owe a lot of it to the Navy. Was it always great? Of course not, as anything else in life. But ultimately, I'm glad I did it, and I would definitely do it again. Granted, I would do different things necessarily, but ultimately, it was still a good move, and it is a good career move for some. And it's also, it just depends on what you do. What you make, it's really what you make the most of it. If you make the most of it, so I'll just say that. It's just don't go in necessarily thinking that you're going to do the 20 years like I did. Just think of it. You're going to do it at one enlistment at a time. And then just kind of figure out what you want to do or what you could do. And then obviously for those that are already in and trying to transition, you'd be surprised at what you think you can do outside of the military, even if it's radically different. I mean, I worked on weapon systems. I didn't work on microscopes for fucking microchips, So, but that company looked at that and went, okay, you could work on electronics. And a lot of companies do hire veterans because one, were tax breaks for them. And two, like,
You might kill your family if you don't get a job.
exactly.
Right.
There you go. But no, I mean, they know that you can, honestly, the military, if you really think about it, it's kind of the easiest job you can have. I know that sounds really weird, but think about it. They tell you when to wake up. They tell you what you're going to wear, what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat, and what you're going to do that day.
I can't wait.
And where you're going to sleep.
I can't wait until some fucking retarded guy in the army. Actually, it's not the easiest job because Louis, you have to wake up. And you got Thanks for that. By the way, we're gonna get some hate mail for that one.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Not the anti-Semitic shit, just that.
Do you feel like with the knowledge you learned in the Navy that you could have built the submarine better? I feel like with my super senior high school diploma, I could
I
have
at
built the
least would have
submarine
added redundant features to it.
Maybe not a controller. Maybe two shitters.
Maybe a urinal and a shitter, maybe a steering wheel. And not a carbon fiber hole.
Cool band name.
Carbon fiber hole. I would have just recopied that. What is that submarine? The bathyscaphe Trieste that went down to like the deepest part of the ocean and shit like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Why
Like,
didn't they just copy that design?
Right.
Make it bigger.
just go off of what works.
Don't try to cheap out, man.
It's ironic. Like it was a cheap, flawed design for fucking billionaires.
Yeah, in that video that Jacob showed, like I thought it was funny how like immediately the guy's like, I can't help but notice how improvised this thing looks. I was like, that's already making me nervous.
Also, why is the shitter in front of the window?
So everyone has to fucking see.
Best seat in the house.
You
man.
have a privacy curtain, and they turn the music up for the sound. I'm like, what about the smell?
I mean,
Come sail away. Come sail away.
And then you're sitting there in the squatty potty just watching the Titanic wreckage, and then you implode. Like,
Oh, that was a question I wanted to ask. Before I forget, because I know we're going to wrap up soon, but that was a question I wanted to ask. Did being in were you a shy pooper before the service?
No.
Okay, never mind. I'm the biggest shy pooper of all time. Right? Like I can't.
Are you like Elliot from Scrubs, where you just can't shit with somebody in the
No,
house?
like no way. Like at the gym, I can't shit. I can't
Hey,
shit.
public is different. I don't like the shit in public because then you got to walk around poopy butt.
But what you're saying is that you will if you have to.
If I have to
That
shit,
won't- like, it
if
has
I
to
have
be
to
a-
shit, I'm gonna shit. I'm not gonna shit myself.
No, I'm not gonna shit myself either. But I'm saying like
Well,
it's a
good thing
dire
you cleared
emergency.
that up. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying if it's a dire emergency, I will. But if it's not, I won't.
What's
So I
the-
was.
what, I don't understand the shy poop thing. Like,
Why?
where does that come from?
For me, it's usually a dire emergency. It's like you're gonna shit yourself now, or like you got to go find something.
I'm just like, if I'm in a public restroom and somebody ever says anything, I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was a fucking toilet. Like, you know, like, what,
Oh, you mean like you don't want people talking to you in the bathroom? That's a little odd too.
Let's see. Let's find out where it
Where'd
comes
you
from.
pearls come from, Liza?
Shy pooping come from.
I hope it's like toddler.
Fear of pooping in public is referred to as a shy. Reread this, Christian.
shy bowel or
Thank-
parsopresis.
Because of the sounds or smells, you literally have no control over that.
Thought to be social anxiety disorder or phobia. So like when I was a kid, I hated it too. Like I hated the act of pooping when I was a kid. Like I thought it was gross. Like it's just gross.
I
That's
mean,
why-
it is gross, but it's
to be-
necessary biological
To
function.
be,
like you gotta.
to be crass, like that's the reason why I've never had butt sex. That's the reason why, like, I just don't like it. I don't like anything.
Butt sex on you or butt sex on other?
Both. It's just because I don't like it. I don't think that.
2023, I gotta ask, man.
No, it's fine, and thank you for asking.
You're welcome. I'm very inclusive. It's a safe space.
No, it's of course. After you, oh,
Oh.
no, like it's disgusting to me. So it's like when I think
It
of like
is.
a mass collective of people that are in there doing it, like I fucking hate the guy like when he knows there's people at the urinal and then you hear him just. I hate it. It's
Oh,
so.
and it sounds like if the dude's like dropping a whole can
Right,
of soup down the toilet.
so I'm not mad at them because both of you are absolutely correct. It's a fucking function that your body does.
Yeah.
It just freaks me out. And like,
I prefer pooping over throwing up.
so I disagree on that too.
What?
Yeah.
I would rather have diarrhea for a week straight if it meant that I never had to throw up again.
I say I
I
get out of
fucking
the
hate
way.
throwing up.
I was such a heavy drinker that I would just get it out of the way, and
Yeah,
then
it's not good.
See, I think
See, whereas pooping is a necessary biological function, vomiting is like a fail safe.
it's like something's wrong.
Something's wrong. It's either sick or did you drank too much.
have dysentery.
Oh yeah, or you have like you're sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, like, because I think I used to be a shy pooper, but then I think like at one point in my life, I started looking at it like kind of like a power move. You know, like
I blew up the bathroom in the first 15 minutes of my job.
yeah, right.
I didn't mean to. I just did.
I don't like that.
But now they know.
Yeah.
That guy doesn't give a fuck.
And my other coworker was like, "Bro, did you just blow up the bathroom on your first day at KLA?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. What a Chad move.
Yeah. See,
Destroyed that bathroom.
people respect
Horrible.
you for it, man.
I don't. I think it's fucking disgusting.
It is disgusting, and I wish I didn't have to, but I also couldn't help it. I had to go poop.
That's why LBJ used to hold meetings in his private
Are
bathroom.
you familiar with how much of a fucking mad lad LBJ was?
Yeah, he used to walk around. He used to show his dick all the time.
Dude, when he told me that,
Yeah, he was also like 6'3". He's a tall dude.
He's a big, intimidating
big boy.
guy.
and he would just take his dick out of his pants
Yeah.
and just like
You know, Joe Biden don't do that.
Joe Biden's not showing his dick to fucking politicians.
No.
No, he's got to. You hear the crinkle from his diaper, probably. You know he's walking with a diaper. You know, regardless if
You
you're
think
left
so?
or right. The man's 87.
For a
years
guy that
old.
falls down that much, he's probably
He's got a diaper.
No, this
he,
was
he
definitely-
smells like piss, guarantee you.
Oh yeah.
He smells like piss and like old people. Like he smells like urine, like baby.
Like
urine.
mothballs.
Right. I think
He's
that
walking around just like, my balls are freezing, man.
This is
Because
the
he's got a
first
piss in his
time
diaper.
in my adult life that I remember. It's just like, yeah, like you said, it doesn't matter which way you're voting or like what side you lean on. I feel like consecutively, all of us are just like, he kind of like sucks. Like he's old and it's crazy. What was that
Like
one
we're
video?
talking about a demographic of even Trump. I mean, he's 77. I think he just turned 77. And it's like, why are you? Can we hire someone that's not a fucking dinosaur?
Can we get like a
in the
hot-
demographic of people that wouldn't be hireable anywhere else? I'm not saying we should be ageist or whatever,
Yeah.
but I mean also fair game because
Right.
they're
It is running the country.
at a certain age you're just like you're out of touch.
we get like
Man
a
was
hot
born in
28-year-old?
1942.
Yeah. Yeah. Can we get it?
That was during World War II.
Yeah. Yeah. I want like a hot 28-year-old Abercrombie and Finch looking, you know,
Dang.
like an Army Hammer looking dude.
Or could we get like a guy who's like in his 40s or 50s? You know,
It's like super
which
hot.
would be like middle to actual management or CEO of a company,
Like a super
in
hot
real
Brooke
life.
Shields looking
Yeah.
kind of girl, you know what I mean? That just, you know, looks like a no nonsense Ally McBeal lady, you know, but she's, yeah, like she's
spinster.
20, yeah, she's like, right now, my fellow Americans, we are serving cunt and we are serving it well. You know what I mean? Like that'd be
I
cool.
respect it. I can get
That'd be
behind
cool,
that.
you know. But no, you just posted that. There was that one video like fucking last week. He's like, God save the Queen. He said that he's in fucking South Dakota and the Queen's been dead for a year. Like, you know, and it's like, yeah, dude, it is a bummer. It is a bummer because I'm sure also when you were overseas, like drunk idiots were just like, wow, how do you live in America? You know what I mean? Just like,
Yeah, I mean, when I was with Obama the entire time.
well, it's like what
fine,
I
I
was
guess.
told, because I have an uncle who's in Australia, and he tells me all the time, it's just like Australians just treat Americans like we're a fucking reality TV show.
Yeah, I've been to Australia. Yeah, it's an interesting bunch over there. I don't know. Australia's
It's a rambunctious group.
They are. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I remember when I had a layover there. They're just when I went into customs because I had to fly down there or something.
Mm-hmm.
They because I had a layover. They're like, oh, they go through customs. They're like, oh, hey, do you have a criminal background? I'm like, well, I didn't realize I still needed one of those to be here.
That was a pretty cool dad joke. I like that.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. This was pretty cool, man. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
I was super happy. I know this has kind of been something that we've been talking about for a while now.
I mean, I come on again if I don't get you canceled. So
That's cool. I was gonna say.
No, I think we need more of this because Jacob gets all pearl clutchy whenever I make like suggestive jokes. So he
I'm
needs.
just trying to succeed, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to not crash and burn.
are we having extreme off? Is that what we're
I appreciate when
No,
someone else is here to
fringe
make him
off.
sweat.
No, there's video evidence of me. I was talking about how fucking crispy the fucking
I was gonna say,
Nazis
he's gonna
dressed.
talk about the Nazis again.
because their uniforms were designed by Hugo Boss.
Yeah, right. And I was like, and there's a clip of me saying, "Dude, the Nazis were cool." Like, yeah, like it's just like, and I meant like they're fucking. I was like, oh, done. And that was like episode 6. Like, I was like, we've been doomed from the start. No, man, it's cool. I'd love to have you back on again. It's cool to hear someone who's like left the fucking country and has more stories than.
All right, I didn't even really touch on some of those. Yeah,
Right,
for
exactly.
sure. Yeah.
No, like I was gonna say, like I was trying so hard to like save face on the fucking 30 minutes Christian didn't record on. So learn your I'm gonna.
Although the
sorry.
Navy they using TikTok now to recruit, I guess, a lot. They got people are getting shit out. People are getting upset on the right for they had a transgender person on there for it.
Yeah.
And I'm offended too, not because they're transgender, but because I feel that it does a disservice to all the lady boys that have done great services to our service members. Okay. I'm just gonna end on that note.
That was fucking sweet.
They work really
Lady
hard.
boy,
Okay.
They worked very hard to service your
Shout out to the.
I've seen more lady boys than I've seen transgenders.
Are you serious?
In Thailand, they're all over the damn place, and the Philippines. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we played that video.
they were like the proto trannies. That's
If I
just
went
how,
to
I mean, they
Thailand,
are
dude-
trannies, I guess, in a way. But yeah, that's how it. I mean,
I totally get caught up in Thailand, dude.
I'm so glad we have that on video. That's so fucking funny.
I would.
I've been sitting on that joke for months.
That was good. That was really good. I would like to hope that you were just like, I'm gonna fucking get him on this
gonna
one.
get 'em.
Like, that was fucking awesome. Andrew, this was fucking awesome, dude. Thank you so much for coming on. This was great.
Pleasure having me.
Christian, you got anything else?
Brought to you by Six Bird.
If there's any lady boys out there,
Lady boy.
Fuck yeah!
I
Shout
probably
out,
shouldn't advertise
shout out
Six Bird after this.
Sixbird. Shout out Sixbird for the delicious ciders. BasementDweller.com/BasementDweller Productions. Wait, Patreon.com/BasementDweller Productions. $15 a month gets you a beautiful dick drawing from Christian himself. We still have 98 more to send out. There are subscriptions of $5, $10, and $15. $250,000 on the Patreon. Christian and I will go see the Titanic. That is a promise. We will build our own in the backyard, and I guarantee you we'll make it there before they do.
Hashtag Jacob Paste. Your friend in the cider business.
Yeah, absolutely. Episode 90. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Peace out.
If you like what you heard, type into their Instagram and Twitter. The information's right below with their email.
It's time you bit the bullet and started caring about something with all your heart and energy.
Be sure to log into the channel by subscribing and check out the previous episodes. But until then, we'll see you next week with a new one. We out for now.